seller.
I mean, interesting that this is a conversation, because your seller has already indicated that they would do that with you.
They did, but my lender says that they wouldn't. My broker says that a lender won't do the loan if there's a seller on the second. So
yeah, so you must have not watched all the Morby Method Zooms.
Well, I feel like I did, but I can go back and watch them again, because I watched them before I got this deal. So maybe I need to go back and learn more.
Well, let's walk through it just for a second. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Pace.
Of course, brother. I love when you have problems on real deals. I could talk about this real deal for 20 hours. Okay. So there's two different ways to do this, right? So you've got a 10-unit apartment building. Okay. And you already have it under contract. You've already got approved for a loan. What's your loan amount?
860 some thousand.
Freaking baller, dude. I love it. So I got an $800,000 loan. What was the purchase price? Probably 1 point something.
1.13.
Okay. 1.13 was your purchase price. And so you go, look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out. This is, do you go by Jeffrey or Jeff?
Jeff.
Okay. So Jeff goes out, he goes to a lender. The lender says, hey, I'll give you $800,000 if you give me $330,000 as a down payment, right? Cool. So here's the challenge with that. That's a lot of money to tie up in a deal. This is why I don't love cash deals. This is why I don't love the BRRRR method. You heard me just 15 minutes ago. I'm in the middle of a BRRRR deal right now. I'm in the middle of probably 7 BRRRR deals. I just don't love them because most people are not like you, Jeffrey, that you got $330,000 stuffed in that yellow couch of yours right behind you. And you got an Eames chair that's probably a $5,000 chair behind you.
That's true. And I do, but, it does give me a heartburn after joining this community. So this is my last one.
Okay. No, this is great. This is the Morby method that I'm going to show you right now. That is a dope sofa. And is that a real Eames chair?
It is. Yes.
Guys, that chair, you guys have no clue. That chair is one of the most popular chairs on planet Earth.
I found a way to get it at a deal. If you want one, I'll help you out.
Don't tell people to rob Herman Miller. That's not a great strategy.
I didn't.
Okay. So here we go. We've got a down payment that you're going to bring to the seller on this 10-unit deal. Cool. Well, now the seller's coming to you and going, hey, you know what, Jeff, I want to help you stabilize this. And so I'm willing to carry back a portion of the purchase. Okay. So where else is the seller going to carry back this deal except for second position? So the realtor who are you talking to? The realtor that represents you or the realtor that represents the seller?
Well, I'm talking to kind of both, but
this is why realtors are the worst.
It's a daisy chain of a mess. And so
it's hard to communicate with the person who actually makes the decision because you've got real estate agents who don't have experience in actually real estate investing. All they have experience in whenever you're a realtor and you tell me why, you go, Pace, why do you hate on real estate agents so much? I'm like, because this is why. Because homeboy wants to make a deal with the seller, and the seller's indicating they're willing to do the Morby method, but you got 2 knucklehead real estate agents that Jeff has to educate and basically give them a whole mentorship on creative finance before he even gets to the seller. Okay. So if you're a real estate agent and you know how to invest in real estate, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to all the other knucklehead real estate agents that you guys should just go back and bag groceries or whatever it is. Just get out of the business because you're causing people heartburn. You don't know about real estate investing. Okay. So here's what is really going on here. And you said, well, the idiot agents, will make them pink. They're in the middle of this and they're basically saying, well, your lender, who's the one saying this about your lender?
Well, the lender told me, hey, actually my broker, the commercial broker told me, if you're going to do a seller carry, you need to do that after the deal's closed. Because
this is the Morby method. So you got 2 ways.
Yes. So that's who told me, is the broker. He said, work it out with me, but don't tell the lender.
There you go. Okay. So that's what I've always done. Okay. And I'm going to give you, there's two different options. So this down payment, you have no choice but to bring that down payment to close of escrow because you have to satisfy that lender, right?
I'm fine with that. Yep.
Okay. And then what you do in the Morby method documents that we have, the Morby method documents, you get the seller to keep the $330,000 in escrow for 1 day. And they never receive that $330,000. I'm just, Jeffrey, I'm going to give you an example, but don't marry yourself to the numbers because your seller might say, well, maybe I'll seller carry the full 330, but maybe your seller only wants to carry 200. I don't know, right? You've got
230. That's their number.
230?
Yeah.
Okay. So they'll seller carry 230. So what will happen is at escrow, the title company is sitting here holding on to $330,000. So what they're going to do is they're going to take $100,000 of that, and they're going to send that over to the seller. And what are they going to do with the other $230,000 is they're going to send that $230,000 back to you in cash. And then the title company is going to create a note and a deed of trust in the seller's name in second position. Now, there's two ways to do this, right? You can do the second note and deed of trust in second position after the close of escrow. That's what I've done for years. Okay. So your lender, I've had lenders come into this mentorship, Jeffrey, that have all said, hey, I know that people are doing this and we don't go back and check. I'm just telling you it's bank rules. We prefer you don't. So please don't. Okay. I've never heard of anybody. It's not mortgage fraud. You're not committing mortgage fraud. That's not what you're doing here. Okay. Dario says, who's lending money for flips? I lend money all the time. Email Molly at AmericaHomeOffers.com. Molly at AmericaHomeOffers.com. So that's option one. Option one is I have the title company create a second note and deed of trust and I move on and I'm done. Okay. Or what I do, Jeffrey, is I spent nearly $7,000 in Morby method documents and strategy sessions with my attorney, Sean St. Clair. The documents are essentially you partnering with the seller on the back end, and your seller can either A, own part of your LLC with you, and his payout, his partnership payout would be the remaining $230,000. And once he gets paid his 230, then he's released from the ownership of that LLC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Another option is that he can own and essentially file a UCC-1 against the property, basically showing he has interest against your LLC. That's what a UCC is. Okay. Lupita says, not Molly, but Allison Gustafson. Yeah. Allison Gustafson is actually running that department right now, but just email Molly so she can look at everything for a while. Okay. So I already have the paperwork for this and you guys have access to this. So what I would do, Jeffrey, is I would go find that Zoom. I would ask Caleb Christopher, one of the leaders in our group, where that Zoom is specifically, and also where that paperwork is specifically. But if you're worried, by the way, I don't worry about putting my seller in second position. I just put my seller in second position. I call it a day. Okay. That's my choice. I just choose to go here. But if you're really worried about having your seller in second position, which I look at as a non-issue, then I would go this route and I would say, okay, perfect. Let's just put it on the LLC operating agreement that you're my partner on the LLC and your capital contribution to the LLC is the 230. And I have a buyout agreement with you for that ownership that states I make payments to you or a one-time buyout at 5 years, whatever that negotiation is for that 230, that goes into the operating agreement and the LLC documents.
This all makes sense. And I think option one will work. And so, will it show on title that 230,000 is coming back to one of my LLCs? That was the question. Oh, okay, good. That's
because it's a second transaction. So these are two transactions. So what you're going to do is you're going to close leg number one on the Morby method, right?
okay.
You treat that leg as just the pure regular cash transaction. Your lender's satisfied, they're happy, they get the closing documents, and then what title does. Okay, and Jeffrey, you understand this, so I'm not going to go slow for you like I normally would go for somebody else. But that $330,000 doesn't just sit in that same escrow account. People don't understand this, but they have an escrow account for multiple different files, right? So here's what happens. Your money comes in from you and the money comes in from your lender and it goes into an escrow account. And then the final settlement statement shows that that money disperses to its appropriate locations, right? So that $330,000 doesn't disperse to the seller. It disperses to a second escrow account so that it looks on paper that the lender saw that that money left and it went and paid off the quote unquote seller. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. However, it's just in a separate escrow account. Like they literally have another bank account that they just move it over to. Okay. And then on your settlement statement, it shows to your lender, hey, the seller's been paid off. We're good here. Boom. Then the next day or 24 hours later or whatever it may be, you then have the seller reimburse you from that escrow account for that $230,000 and they get dispersed the other $100,000.
And so I just need to explain this to title basically.
Yeah. Or share this Zoom with them.
Okay. I appreciate it, Pace. This is super helpful. I'm definitely a slow learner, but once I get it, I get it.
Hey, Jeffrey, can I tell you something? I'm a slow learner too, dog. This is why the mentorship is lifelong. I can't expect you guys to learn this stuff overnight.
I'm grateful.
I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for the questions. I'm grateful for all the opportunities. So Jeffrey, here's the thing is like, if this works, how valuable is just the one strategy of the Morby method to you and your business?
Huge. It's huge.
It saves you $230,000, bro.
Yeah.
Then you could go buy 2 more Eames chairs.
2 more Eames chairs at least. I'm going to move this damn chair out of the way now.
No, you're going to be known as the guy with the Eames chair.
Oh, great. That's
I love it. Good. Hey, bro, good job.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And I'm hoping to close on this and make it so that it's a little creative, even though I didn't do it right from the beginning, but I'm trying to salvage it.
Bro, nobody does anything right from the beginning. Okay. We never do it right from the beginning. We learn along the way and you're doing the right thing. 100%. You're taking action and you're learning along the way. Bumps on the knees and scrapes on the shins are perfectly fine.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Finish the race, buy the asset. A 10-plex, bro, with the Morby method, having the seller kick back $230,000. That's some gangster stuff, dude.
I almost had them on seller finance, but I was doing the daisy chain realtor deal. So next time I won't do that.
I wonder if one day somebody's going to calculate how many deals have been blown up by stupid ass real estate agents.
Oh, so many.
And they think they're so smart. You know, the second you meet a real estate agent that is not a real estate investor agent, right? Because I like investor agents. I'm talking about the realtors, the ones that come to you and go, I've been at Keller Williams for 20 years.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, thank you. So that you're telling me you're just going to blow up my deal. Thank you so much.
Hey, my agent is good. He's an investor. He's down for whatever, but the seller's agent we've had to educate him on everything.
It's tough. It's tough. Here's what I would do. I would take the Zoom link. I'll post it tonight and Jeffrey, are you pretty good with editing stuff?
Yeah, I can figure it out. I've been learning.
Okay. So download it. Are you an Apple user or a Mac or a PC?
So far a PC, but I'm moving to the iPhone. That's my first step.
Okay, cool. You actually could do this on the iPhone. If you download this on your Zoom and you could go into like the Splice app or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, what I would do is I would download this and just cut out like the piece of this that you really want and send it over to the title company and they can answer it.
I got an app on my
PC
that'll do this, so I'll do it. Thanks. I appreciate it.
All right. Good work.
You're the best.
You're the best, Jeffrey. Good work. Jeffrey, let me ask you a question. How can you help other students that might not have as much experience in buying real estate? Can you help people comp? Can you help people underwrite a deal? What can you help with in this community?
I'm so glad you asked. I've been asking that from like the day I joined. I've been like, okay, I usually am a giver more than I take, but in this community, I've been consuming content and not feeling like I have anything to give. But I I did buy a lot of property last year, and I've learned to underwrite deals for cash flow. But I'm realizing that I've been doing multifamily, and my per door isn't anywhere near the Airbnb. So then I'm like, well, now I'm humbled. So now I got to learn how to get more per door. But I'm good at coaching, overcoming objections, sales training. I can close deals, and then I definitely can underwrite. I've been buying property for a while.
So Jeffrey, what I would do is you've got your cell phone there. Guys, send him a text message. Even if you're somebody that's brand new and you're like, I don't even have a deal to underwrite, send Jeffrey a text message and have him program your phone number in his phone. Put this guy to work. Put him to work. Have him. The best thing for somebody to do in real estate is to teach somebody else real estate based on things they learn. And Jeffrey, what I would do, you want to provide value back to the sub 2 community. Here's what I'll do.
Yes.
I will suggest to you to reach out to Kelly Hanno or to Melissa and say, hey, I got the deal done. Here's how I struggled with it. Here's the problems I was interfaced with. Here's how I fought through it. Pace then gave me this advice. I knew 85% of it because I watched the Zooms, but I got this one nugget. I moved forward. I ran into 5 more struggles and issues, finally closed on it. Here's the property. Here you guys go. Here's my top 10 lessons that I learned from this deal. That kind of stuff. Sharing the wins and sharing the challenges so that people realize and recognize that is part of this business is a major, major deal for adding value back to the sub 2 community.
I will do that. And what's Melissa's last name?
Bracamonte, but just Melissa at sub2.com.
Okay.
She's our community manager for sub 2.
Thank you, Pace. I appreciate it.
You're awesome. Great looking freaking couch, dude. That thing is so nice. Holy crap.
Thank you.
I feel kind of like major FOMO that I don't have a yellow couch like that. That thing is so dope. Not only is this guy buying freaking 10 plexes, but now he's got freaking dope ass couches just littered through his living room. Guys, what the freak? Jeffrey, have I embarrassed you enough yet? Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. Ricardo, what up, bro? And Kelly, yes, that was a quick question for me. I'm getting better, Kelly. I'm learning things along the way. All right. I'm getting better. Ricardo, what up?
Hey, what's up, Pace? How's it going?
What do you got for me, brother?
Hey, I just wanted to meet you, man. I just joined recently. If that's okay, I know
if that's okay. Come on, Drew. Okay.
Yeah.
Step 1, when you join sub 2, guys, what's the first step when you first join sub 2? What's the first step you should be doing? 25 friends. There you go. Maji got it. 25 brothers and sisters. You need 25 friends. Here's what I would do, Ricardo, is I would find 5 leaders, people that have been in here for over 6 months, people that are doing deals. Get 5 leaders on your roster and 20 people. They could be brand new. Because a lot of times, Ricardo, what do we need more than anything else is we need a brother, we need a sister along the way, because you're going to run into a lot of crap. Even though we have 21 support calls every single week, you got morning, night, weekends, you got support, all that stuff. You got relationship with me, you get live deals, you get all the things. You're still going to need somebody to commiserate with when you're having a hard time and celebrate with when you're having a great time via text and in person, etc. So, Ricardo, where do you live?
Dallas, Texas.
Are you going to see me in Dallas, Texas next Friday?
Yep.
Who's going to see us? Jamil and I are coming to Boise, Idaho on Monday. Wednesday is Houston. Thursday is Austin. Friday is Dallas. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So, yes. So Tanisha Epps, she knows because she's been a leader in this group. I told somebody the other day, I go, do you know Tanisha Epps? And they go, no. And I go, she's the heart of sub 2. I love her. She's amazing. So you need to know Alejandro Alvarez. I text him almost every day. He's a mastermind student. You need to know Carolyn and Myron in Dallas. You need to know Zach Shelley in Dallas. Okay. There's a whole bunch of people, hundreds of students in Dallas. You got to know them. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Guys, the second thing, here's the first thing you do when you join sub 2. You write this down. If you're a brand new student, you write this down. Okay. I need 25 friends. 5 of them need to be leaders. This is the only mentorship on planet Earth that you're going to find people that have been in here for, Jabs. I called Jabs Carter the other day. It's his birthday. He had a birthday 2 days ago. Jamil and I called him and wished him a happy birthday. He just did his first multifamily deal with another mastermind student. Okay. Logan and Katie, they're awesome out of Bozeman, Montana. They're moving like 6 houses away from us right now for their winter house. Today is Carolyn's birthday. Carolyn, are you in here? I hope not. I hope she's out. I hope her husband's out shopping for her. Yeah, she's not in here. That's great. She's partying. Okay, so first thing when you join Sub 2, go make 25 friends. Where do I make my 25 friends? I go into the daily dial. I go in the nightly dial. I come into Paces Zooms. I go into the bonus Zooms. And I'm in the side chat, okay? And I'm seeing who's doing deals, who's talking about whatever. You want to make sure you have 5 leaders and 20 people that could just be as brand new as you. Right. Because what you're going to see is that you guys are going to be on a long journey together. Has anybody, when you joined, you became friends with other new students, and then your journeys 6 months later or 8 months later have completely changed together? And it's like, guys, you know what I had so much fun with when I was in high school? The person I shared my locker, and then I had a person that I shared a locker with, and he became one of my best friends. And then the people that I shared a locker next to became some of my best friends. So like, that's what you need. You need proximity to friends. You need the energy. You need the camaraderie. You need the campfire. So Ricardo in Dallas.
Yeah.
First thing is make sure you have 25 friends that if you saw them in a grocery store, you could say their name. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Then the second thing you need to do is you need to join your accountability group. You don't know this. A lot of people that are brand new, you don't know that you have an accountability group in your local geographical area. Okay.
I joined it yesterday. That was my first time. So that was pretty good. And okay. I watched the game plan that you mentioned on the previous Zoom, and that was really, 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 really helpful.
There you go. That's the third thing you do. The third thing you do is you need to come up with a game plan. And here's the challenge. Here's the problem with Sub 2. I don't just teach Sub 2, seller finance, novation agreements. I don't just teach wholesale, fix and flip, multifamily, raising private capital, partnerships, marriage. This is a life mentorship. Everything I do in my life, I teach you. Everything I have experience in, I teach you. And so with that, it's a double-edged sword. The double-edged sword is that sometimes I'm giving you advice that might create FOMO and you want to follow a shiny object. Don't do that. Get a game plan, follow it for 90 days, okay? And what I would do is memorize what are the 5 ways to get deals. Okay, memorize the 5 ways to get deals. What I would do, Ricardo, you didn't see the Tuesday Zoom, did you? It's 2.5 hours. I broke down the 5 ways. There's only 5 ways to get deals.
I did. I took some screenshots of it.
Okay, I would memorize those.
Dead leads and some other one. I remember those. And the
perfect. So memorize those. Go back and watch that, and then go create a game plan.
Got it. Okay.
Who in here is a brand new student that helped you out a little bit? That gave you a little bit of clarity. The first thing, and by the ironic thing, did I tell you to go watch the training?
No, it was a Sub 2 student. I asked a question on the Facebook group, and they linked those. The 90-day game plan link to watch those. So it was. I can't remember who it was, but I asked the question on there, and they helped me out because I wanted some structure, and that basically is kind of like the foundation. Right, to really get to think, okay, what is it that you want? Like you mentioned, there's a lot of strategies, right? But we got to get clear on exactly what to aim for and just focus on that, and not to watch all the Zooms, but like you mentioned, get clear on what you want, and then just go dive deep to exactly that area.
Yep, jump into the Zooms, because I do a lot of Zooms and we do a lot of support, and you have access to me for the rest of your freaking life. So why would you try and be in every Zoom, right?
Right.
I can be in these Zooms because I have a team. I have 9 people that I rely on a daily basis that take care of things for me all day long. So I can be in here and hang out with you guys a lot longer than you guys can, right? Ooh, Tanisha, that's a good one. Thank you, Tanisha. Tanisha just gave you guys a couple of Zoom links in the side chat to go watch those. Ricardo?
Yes?
I will see you in Dallas, my guy.
I will see you soon, man. Take care.
Your homework is to have me a Dallas deal by the time I get there, all right?
Oh boy, I'm a newbie. I'll see. I'll think about that tonight.
Come on, dog. Let's go.
Think about that tonight. Okay.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. A couple of people. We got 300 people in this Zoom. This is as we say in Korean, this is a kapjagi Zoom. Kapjagi means abrupt, not planned, sporadic. This Zoom was very kapjagi. And I was not planning on it, but I got off set a little bit earlier today. And want to let you guys know a couple of things. Tomorrow, anybody that I get a lot of people are like, I want to partner with you. Let me know when the multifamily thing is happening. Tomorrow, we have already raised $24 million for our 400 unit Charlotte multifamily deal. I've already raised $24 million. I'm giving a small portion of that available to you guys. If you guys want to come in, we are giving you guys basically 6 hours to say, hey, I want to be part of that. It's a 400 unit. It's the biggest deal I've ever done. 400 unit. If you guys want to be a part of the biggest deal I have ever done and be my partner on it, come on in. There's 3 reasons why I would want you guys in there. Okay. Matthias says, does anyone want to lend $22,000? Potentially, Matthias, email me or email Molly at americahomeoffers.com, and I will potentially lend to you for show. So if you guys are wanting to be a partner with me on the biggest deal I've ever done to date, that's a pretty big opportunity. Come in, please. And I will see you guys noon tomorrow. I have a Zoom tomorrow noon. Me and my partners are going to show you guys the deal in Charlotte. 400 plus units. It's a 9-figure purchase price where we had to raise 20 some odd $1 million. We've already raised $24 million, and I have enough investors to do it, but I'm trying to give you guys an opportunity. There's 3 reasons why I would be there. Okay. Forget about being an accredited investor or not to be there. Okay. 1, I would love for you guys to be my partner. Anybody that wants to come in here, anybody who wants to be my partner, come on in. The second reason why I would want you guys there is because I want you guys to see what it looks like when I pitch a multifamily deal. Okay. You guys want to learn how to pitch a multifamily deal to investors? Then get your ass in the Zoom. Let's hang out. Okay. I will let even non-accredited investors hear the pitch. So get your ass in there and I will let you hear the pitch. Okay. The third reason why I want you there is because I want to show you what the deal looks like so you guys can also see what that looks like. All right. You guys down? Who's going to be there for that tomorrow? Cool. All right. So Desiree Gonzalez, I saw you in Zoom. I saw you in the Facebook group, and you are one of the reasons why I did this very random Zoom tonight is because of you. So shout out Desiree, everybody. What up, Desiree?
What's up?
What you got?
Peace. Quick question. So I was talking to a sub-2 student earlier about Gator lending, and I was just kind of wondering, what are some of the, I don't know how to ask this. Like, for example, he was telling me that he let one student borrow $25K for 15 days, and he made like $3K on it. But
yeah.
So that's good, right? But I guess he had asked another student, and the student asked for like $10K to borrow $25K for 10 days or 15 days. So I'm just wondering, what is the norm? Like, does it
Desiree, there is no norm. Forget about the norm. There's not going to be a spreadsheet. I'm not going to build guidelines. There's not going to be a website. There's not going to be like, here's the normal terms. Desiree, do you know where Gator lending started? I'll tell you where Gator lending started. It started about 10 years ago. I've been doing it for a long time. I was a contractor building houses, and I had a painter named Ruben Gonzalez that would come to me and he would say, hey, my crew over here needs to get paid. And I have this other customer that wrote me a check, but the check doesn't clear for like a week. And I need like $6,000. And I go, great. What's it worth it to you for you to hold my $6,000 for 3 days? And he would go to me and go, I'll give you $3,000. I go, done. No problem. I'll do that. Did I have a guideline or a spreadsheet, or did like my dad tell me what to do, or am I just a badass and I just go, what's it to you?
The second one.
Second one.
No,
right?
I'm not asking for a guideline. I'm just asking like what would be like insane or like not like logical, or I guess it depends on the person, right? Like
It
like you
depends on
said,
the person
do
and
you
their
need it?
willingness
How
to
long? How
accept
much
it.
do you need it?
So here's
Yeah.
what's going to happen, Desiree. You're going to have a lot of Gators out there because I'm teaching the students how to become Gators, not just to other students. You guys I'm going to show you guys how to go find wholesalers who can't fund their own earnest money. They can't fund their own probate stuff. They can't fund their double closes. And I can tell you right freaking now that in 5 years, come back to this Zoom and mark my words, in 5 years, the majority of the states in the United States will have outlawed wholesaling to some degree. So what does that mean? Does that mean people are going to stop wholesaling? No, it means people are going to start double closing almost every single transaction.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? So what does it mean? Now as a Gator, I can go in there and go, hey, you need my money for literally 12 hours. Last week, I funded somebody 24 grand. I funded somebody $24,000. Hey, hold on a second. Okay, sorry. So I funded $24,000 for literally 12 hours. Like I wired the money in the morning and they wired the money back to me and I made $3,000. I made $3 grand on $24,000. By the way, Desiree, check this out. I know you're asking because you're not a Gator lender. Are you trying to be a Gator lender or are you trying to receive money from a Gator lender?
I'm trying to be a Gator borrower.
Okay, cool. I'll get to your question in just a second. Okay.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, PCS, just FYI, in the last 3 weeks of helping people go and get lines of credit, how much money do you think they have secured for people in the last 3 weeks for lines of credit in order for them to become Gators? Tanisha, that's really aggressive.
Probably millions.
It's about $900,000. Everybody's dropping 100 million, guys. That's insane. It's about $900,000, right? So it starts compounding. It compounds and compounds and compounds and compounds. And I bet you by the end of the year, because we've closed out the Gator thing, right? I'm closing it out. It's basically going to be available to the people who took action, and then the recordings will go to all the sub 2 students. So the recordings will go to the sub 2 students after we've already had the Q&As and the training and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So Desiree, here's the question. The question is, well, Pace, man, people are trying to gouge me, man. Like these Gators are coming in and trying to take these big ol' ass chunks of my deals. Desiree, exactly. My suggestion to you is have a list of 10 or so Gators that are willing to come to you and go, hey guys, I've got a deal. Whoever comes in with the lowest amount of money, you are the customer, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're selling a product to you. Their product is their lending. So you need to shop those Gators and go, hey guys, I've got 10 Gators I'm sending this out to. Whoever takes the smallest chunk gets the business.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah. Thanks.
What do you need? Tell me what you need. Maybe I'll lend it to you.
I don't need anything yet. I just wanted to know.
Desiree, how fast can you go need something? Because I want to lend money to you.
I don't know. I was thinking about doing like pre-foreclosures or something like that, because that's like the most pain. And I was watching your video with Brett Daniels.
If you guys are not getting deals, I'm going to tell you right now, if you are not getting deals, don't get shiny object syndrome. Just go after foreclosures in states that are actually foreclosing. Arizona, Texas, other places.
Mm-hmm.
A great idea, Desiree. Focus on foreclosures. Most of the sub 2 and seller finance, most of the sub 2 deals that we get are always going to be foreclosures. People that are going through a tough time, right? So you're going to get a lot of sub 2 deals in those opportunities, and a lot of cash deals. You'll get a lot of cash deals with foreclosures too.
All right, cool.
So here's a couple of things you guys need to understand. A Gator lender is in your transaction for typically less than 10 days. Okay. Write that down. What's happening is you guys are saying stuff like, hey, I need a Gator lender for 12 months. Guys, that's not a Gator lender. That's called a hard money lender. Okay. It's a very big difference. A Gator lender is doing transactions that typically a hard money lender is not willing to do. Okay. So like $24,000 for a 12-hour turnaround. Hard money lenders are like, don't waste my time, dude. Are you kidding me? Or an earnest money. I'm doing a probate deal right now. Okay. I gotta, Christina says, who wants to be my turbo lender? That's funny. Everybody's trying to come up with new names. I love it. Gator lenders are very transactional, right? We're in, we're out. We're in, we're out. Okay. Or we're sponsoring deals. Okay. So like if you guys need a loan on a fix and flip, you guys need a loan on a long-term BRRRR loan, hit me up. I will sponsor a sub-2 student's loans. I think I'm sponsoring a loan for Kelly Hanno. I'm not quite sure. I think I am. I'm sponsoring a handful of people's loans in here, which means you can use my name, my balance sheet. You can use my liquidity. You can use my credibility and go to a lender and say, this is my partner on the deal. And I will ask you for a portion of your deal for just being the sponsor. But now you know you don't have that problem of I don't have. Yeah. Does anybody not know that I will do that for sub-2 students? Syed's like, damn, Pace is genius. Did not know. Brianka says, Pace, I may need that long-term $15,000 in arrear and $25,000 to entice them to go with me. Can you close them too? Potentially. So Desiree, did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Desiree, I appreciate you a lot. Like a lot. You're active. I see you making comments. You're awesome. Who's your best friend in sub-2?
Jamel Rogers.
Okay. And who's your second best friend?
Latasha,
I don't remember anybody by the name of
know.
in sub-2. Does anybody who knows what city guys, what city they live in? Desiree, do you have 25 friends or no?
No.
Guys,
I
please
have like
love
6.
on this girl. Please, somebody love on this girl. Desiree, put your phone number in the side chat. Everybody needs to blow you up. Tanisha says, call her. How are you not homies with Tanisha?
I don't know.
Desiree,
I'll put my
you joined a
number.
family and you come on. Desiree. And by the way, do you guys know how freaking strong the females are in this sub-2 group? When you guys were at the Clever Summit, okay, the Clever Summit, how freaking crazy was that like half the audience were women? It was so sick. Ingrid did a great job, by the way. She came up, asked a wonderful question. Really, really good question. Okay, so Desiree, do you think you have some friends in this group?
I do.
Okay, so Desiree, I don't know how much money you make in your regular life, okay? But again, we all know this. Do you guys know the most important mathematical equation you'll ever need to know in your whole entire life? Do you want me to teach you the most mathematical equation in your life, Desiree?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, I will guarantee you this. I do this all the time in private conversations with people. Take the 5 closest people you spend the most time with, take their income, add it all up together and divide it by 5. And that is within $5,000 a year. That's your income. Okay. Take 5 people that you spend the most time with, add up all their yearly income, divide it by 5, and that within $5,000 is your income. It's never been wrong.
So I guess I should not hang out with them.
Hell no. I'm gonna tell you right now, life is too short to hang out with broke ass people. And when I say broke ass people, I don't mean money. I mean mindset and money. I'll hang out with a person that has no money, but I don't want to hang out with somebody with a broke mindset that doesn't want to improve. And it doesn't mean they don't have problems, because I have problems too, Desiree. I have mindset things I'm constantly working on, but I'm aware of them and I'm constantly trying to improve. So your other friends in your regular life, are they trying to improve? Are they encouraging you and challenging you? Are they asking you, Desiree, how much money did you make last month? How can I help you? That's the mindset stuff that I got to be around. Who wants to hang out with Desiree? She's super dope, but she needs somebody to pull her out of her shyness a little bit. Desiree, put your phone number in the side chat. We need to get 288 people to text you right now.
All right.
Good question, Desiree.
Well, thanks for taking time to chill with us.
This is all I want to do. I literally, besides making love to my wife and making babies, this is where I want to be. And doing deals.
Good,
and doing
we love
deals.
you.
I love you guys too. It's the best place ever. Tia says TMI. What is that? What does that mean? Is that like, oh, too much information? I see. All right. Desiree, good work coming in here and being all brave and stuff. Peggy Page, I heard you did a deal at Clever Summit with a non-sub 2 student. How'd that go?
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to ask you about. Trying to figure out which way to take it.
Okay, let's talk about it.
That's cool though. You're hearing my name. It's first time we've talked.
Yeah, but Peggy, do you think I don't know what's going on in this beautiful community of ours? Come on.
Oh, I know you know.
What do you got? Tell me what you got.
So, yeah, I actually sat next to a guy that brought me a deal in Connecticut.
Amazing.
And, yeah. It was a friend of his that is wanting to split. Well, they're needing to split up. So, obviously, timeline is shorter. I just called him today after running the numbers, and MAO is 345. If you put a lot of money in, well, an ARV is 560,
Okay.
but it could potentially be more than 560 because I saw some comps like up around 660 with really nice fixtures and whatnot.
Okay.
Anyways, I pitched the 345 to her, and I just have a feeling she's not going to bite. But I feel like I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. Like I'm giving this away and I'm not going to be making much money at all. If I could figure out a way to maybe wholesale it or subtail it, because they do owe a mortgage. I think there's
so hold on. Let's go through this because now
Yeah.
we're getting heavy in this. All right. So you got the ARV is what?
Conservatively 560.
I love it when somebody gives me a conservative ARV. Okay, so we got an ARV of 560, and what's the renovation? What do you think?
We put a large budget of 120.
Okay, 120 is not as big as we used to think it. I mean, it used to be,
Right.
inflation, cost of lumber, all that kind of stuff. But I like it. I like that you didn't say, well, it's going to be about $5,000 in carpet paint paste.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so we've got 560. We're going to take out this 120. Actually, let me just erase that to red so we get the clear understanding. Okay, so we've got $120,000 in renovation budget. And then if I sell this at 560, right, on the retail market, obviously I don't get 560, right? I would say I'm going to take out about 8% off of that 560. And people think that I'm crazy when I do that, but I actually fix and flip. And so everybody that doesn't fix and flip, like wholesalers, are like, what are you talking about? Real estate agents only charge 6%, and you can give breaks on commissions to your agents. I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. A lot of times my seller or my buyers are asking me for closing costs. My buyers are asking me for concessions and all sorts of things. Okay. So I'm going to take 8% of that. What would it cost for me to sell this property? What's my sales cost? 8% of that is what?
Oh goodness, got to get the calculator up.
Take 560 and multiply it by 0.08.
$44,800.
Okay, so it's going to cost us $44,000 in closing costs, commissions, concessions, all sorts of stuff to sell the property. And then when I go buy the property for the first time, this is not an order, by the way, but when I buy the property, I'm going to have some closing costs and some hard money lender fees and all sorts of stuff. So let's assume that, let's just add another $25,000 to this for, I buy it, I make hard money payments, I have hard money fees, I've got all sorts of just little, cost of financing essentially. Okay. So my cost of financing, my cost to sell it when I'm done, I'm going to put in a miscellaneous budget in here for probably another $20,000. And why would I do that? This is for utilities. This is for taxes. This is for maintaining the landscape while I'm doing a $120,000 renovation. This is for maintaining pest control and paying for all sorts of weird things, maybe permits, things that are not in my budget. And then more importantly, I want to make sure that I have a little bit of a miscellaneous budget in here just in case my renovation goes over budget. And by the way, let me tell you something. 100% of the time your renovation budget will go over. 100% of the time. Okay. So that being the case, what does Pace want to make on his deals? If I sell a house for $560, that's my flip cost. I sell that to a homeowner at $560. Peggy, do you know what I want to make?
No. What do you want to make?
Okay. My goal is always 10% of the sales price net in my pocket. That's my goal. Minimum. Am I shooting for 20%? Yes. But if I can get 10% net minimum, I will do the deal. So let's take out $56,000 for Pace's profit from this deal. Is everybody getting a little bit of value on this? Like understanding how I will look at a fix and flip? Some numbers that maybe you didn't even think of and consider. Okay. So there you go. Let's do that math. Peggy, do you have the calculator? We can do this. 560, subtract 120, subtract 44, subtract 25, subtract 20, subtract 56. What is that number?
$350, $200.
How much is it? Okay.
About
$350,000 and $200.
Yeah.
Okay. That is my maximum allowable offer. That's the maximum amount I would pay for that property. Okay. So what did you guys get it under contract for?
Not under contract. What I offered her today was $345. So I don't.
345. Okay. Then you got the right thing. I mean, boom, 345. And you got that from a seller or from a wholesaler?
A wholesaler brought it to me at Clever.
And what did the wholesaler have it under contract for?
He didn't have it under contract. He needed a lot of help. It's his first deal.
Good work for you, Peggy.
Thanks.
So for a couple of things for you, Peggy. Great job coming up with your MAO.
I had help. I'm not gonna lie, I had help.
Okay, but who'd you have the help from?
Brandon.
Isn't it beautiful that you can get help from another sub-2 student and I back into the deal and you guys come up with the proper number?
Yeah.
How dope is that? You didn't even need me, Peggy.
No, but my question is, so I don't think she's gonna go with the cash offer. I just have a gut feeling about it, but she might surprise me. I was thinking if it could be.
When you say she, you're talking about the wholesaler or the seller?
Oh, sorry, seller.
Okay.
I don't think the seller is going to go for it. And that's why my backup plan when we call her again on Monday is something like maybe a subtail, but with the rehab. So I just don't completely understand that, but that's a lot of money to be made if I was to do it that way versus just taking a wholesale fee.
What are you talking about? The $56,000 is a lot of money to make?
No, because I think it potentially could be higher. Because there were houses.
You're saying potentially the ARV could be higher.
Yeah. 560 is being really conservative. There's some in the area that are around 660. Same bed and bath and near square foot.
Okay. So Peggy, can I teach you something real quick?
Yes, please.
You're not going to want to know this answer.
Oh, no.
But I have to tell you this because you've done so well on this. what I see every single time I lose money on a fix and flip, I've actually only have lost money on one fix and flip, but every time we come close to breaking even, but we thought we were going to make 50 or 60 or 70,000 is because of this conversation right here. We came up with an MAO, maximum allowable offer, for the people in the side chat. The maximum amount of money I'm allowed to offer to a seller, MAO, maximum allowable offer. Stupid. I don't know who came up with that. Some freaking wholesaler influencer on YouTube did that. Maximum allowable offer. You could also say my maximum purchase price. That would make so much more sense. But why? Why do it that way when we could confuse the hell out of people, you know? So my maximum allowable offer, you've done a great job on that. The challenge is when my partners and I would get together and we're like hungry for a deal and we want to chase it, guess what we do? We start justifying comps and we go, well, other houses did this and other houses do that. And if your answer to me, Peggy, is, well, these other houses that are selling for 60 are model matches, I'd go, then why did you give me the ARV of 560? There
are a slight difference in this, the type of house. Because this house is not a split level, but it's similar. And, you know, those are obviously not as expensive, but I didn't know what the price difference was.
On a split level?
Yeah. Like,
so this is a split level. The other house is at 60 or not. I'm going to tell you, I've owned both. And I can tell you right now, a split level, you're going to lose a significant amount. People hate walking into a house and walking right into stairs. Is that what this house is?
I think so. It's a raised ranch. It's called technically.
Oh, because they don't want people to know it's a split level. That name has become a bad word. So I think I think probably the maximum you're going to sell that for is probably 590. If there's similar square footage at 660, but they're single level, maximum you're going to get is 590. So let's just assume your highest is 590. What are you trying to do?
Increase the profit for them. So I thought if it could be fixed and flipped and then share the profit with the owners.
Okay.
I think it would be nice. Be a great way to help them.
Okay. So you're not talking about a subtail. You're talking about a novation agreement.
Okay. That's it.
and they're very similar. The strategy is the same. There's only one difference between the novation agreement and a subtail. What's the biggest difference? The biggest difference between a novation agreement and a subtail is a subject to. Let's remind ourselves what subject to is. It means I'm buying a property and I'm closing on it subject to the existing mortgage, right? So I now own it. The sellers go away. I can go and then take it retail without any involvement of the seller at that point, right? A novation means I'm not going to close on it, which means I don't have to have hard money costs. Remember, we went through this. Look at this. Our buy, right? We put this big old number in here, this $25,000 right here. We put that buy number in there. This is why novation agreements and subtail deals are so powerful, is because if you do a subtail or a novation agreement, you're going to basically help avoid a lot of that $25,000. Probably a good 15 grand of this gets taken away from a novation or a subtail. Okay. You still have payments to make on that, right? So if you close on it subject to, you still have closing costs, you still have escrow fees, title fee, all that stuff, right? So you're not going to avoid that. But then also, as you close on the subject to, guess what you just inherited?
A mortgage.
A mortgage, right? And while that mortgage is actually lower than the hard money payment, you still have a mortgage. So while you're going through the process of cleaning up the property and putting on the retail market, you still have a payment. It's just way better than it's not as bad as a hard money payment. So that's where subtail really gives you the ability to do one of two things. One, that 15 grand I saved, I can pay that towards the seller and win the offer, right? If I'm competing against a cash buyer versus me with subtail, I can pay 15 grand more and still pay the same amount of money and make the same amount of money on the deal versus somebody paying cash, right? I can pay. That's crazy. With creative finance, I can pay 15 grand more than a cash buyer and avoid having to get a hard money loan. And the seller makes 15 grand. So I beat out on the bid, but I end up making the same amount of money as the person that didn't know what they were doing, right? With creative finance. The advantage with a novation agreement, Peggy, is you actually save more money. And the reason being is because you're actually never closing escrow. You're never actually taking the property into ownership, right? As you understand and know that. So if I were you and I was going to partner with the seller, I would partner with the seller on a novation. You avoid the closing costs, you avoid the funding fees, and then that way that $25,000 we're talking about right here probably goes down. You probably are going to be around $5,000 on that instead of $20,000, which amplifies your ability to do the deal. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
There you go.
Want to be my lender? Just kidding.
I mean, there's a lot of people. Here's what I would do, Peggy, is if you're looking for a lender, we've got, I would imagine in this Zoom right now with sub 2 students, we tend to attract a pretty affluent type of human being inside of sub 2, affluent in their heart, affluent sometimes in their wallet. And a lot, I would guarantee you out of 300 people in here, there's probably 10 to $20 million in this Zoom right now. Okay. Frankie says he can lend. Medium wave Dave, good to see you, brother. Okay. Or Dennis Yasko says he has a lender for you. Text me. Do you see why it's important to come in my Zooms?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because this was looking like
Samir says we might be able to help out. Angel says I can lend. Here I am trying to raise money for a 400 unit multifamily deal, and everybody's trying to fund Peggy's deal. I love it. So what else you got?
Oh, that's the big one right now. But got another verbal today, so I'm on a roll.
So the challenge here is, one, I would put your Peggy in Zoom. I'm going to give all new students a really big piece of advice. Change your Zoom name to Peggy Page, where you live, and then your phone number is your Zoom name, so people can reach out to you, because you want people, like you see Eddie, right? He's one of the Bash brothers. He has his phone number there, right? Eddie, Bash Bros. It's him and Tyler. I coined them the Bash Brothers, and so they're the Bash Brothers. So and he's got his phone number. So if you ever need something from Eddie, you don't have to go, hey, Eddie, what's your phone number? It's right there, right? Sean Baxter, same thing. Sean Baxter, Utah, 801-915, right? Tanisha Epps. And then Tanisha is smart. You know what she did? She said 804-651 is her phone number. And she wrote the word buyer on there. Tanisha's a buyer. Okay. Tanisha's smart. She says, save the chat, click the 3 dots on the, literally just the chat inside of sub 2 is worth the price of this mentorship. The people in this chat. And you, Peggy, you just raised $120,000 on this Zoom in like 2 seconds.
Sweet.
I mean, I raised it for you. You should send me a couple of cookies or something.
Okay.
Don't send me cookies. Send me, what do I want?
Bye. I'll send you bye. I saw you drinking bye.
Oh yeah, please. Sugar-free, calorie. I think there's 10 calories in the whole bottle. So yeah, bye. Peach flavored. All right. Good job. Good work. So Peggy, what are you going to do now with the wholesaler? Let's talk about action steps, right? This is why Sunday service and watching things on YouTube and all that kind of stuff are really challenging, is because you might get your answer out there, but you're not going to get the follow-up, the steps, right? So what is the step you're going to go back to this wholesaler now? Are you going to then say, well, why don't we partner with the seller and we'll partner with them on the back end? I'll raise the 120, you manage the fix and flip, and we'll partner with the seller on the profit split. Is that what you're thinking?
I actually mentioned that to him as my backup plan.
Okay.
I said, if she doesn't jump on the cash, well, I have other ideas.
Cool. So you know what to do.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you have fun at Clever Summit?
Oh my goodness. Too much fun. I got COVID.
Perfect. That means you had a lot of fun.
Yes, I did.
Hugging people.
Tons of love.
Tons of love. How, guys, do you know, so check this out. I took 1,400 photos with students over the weekend, 1,400 individual, 1,400 photos with people over the weekend. How did I not get COVID? It's because I drink Chuck Norris blood. That's why. There's no way I can get sick.
I was actually going to ask you what supplements you take.
Eddie says mindset. Yeah, guys, I didn't get COVID because I have a powerful mindset. That's so good. Peggy, good talking to you. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Keep taking out. Isn't it? Here's something I want to point out to everybody. Everything changes when you have blank. Okay, and you could fill that in 100 different ways. Community, support, all that kind of stuff. But in this situation, the number one thing that changes everything for you is momentum. Just being in a conversation on an active deal is like the most exhilarating thing ever. Like if I'm having a bad day or I'm having a bad moment or whatever, it always comes down to momentum. It's like, oh, I'm feeling momentum kind of taper off or whatever it is. And you have like a feeling of elation when you have momentum?
Yes. Yeah. Hey, to all the new people, just want to say, get out there, join the nightly and the daily dials. Get uncomfortable. I've only been doing this 2 months and a week. So
get uncomfortable.
Get uncomfortable.
Guys, go get COVID. You know what I'm saying? Like, go get uncomfortable.
Yes, that uncomfortable.
So I'm going to get a lawsuit at my house tomorrow. Yeah, get uncomfortable, like become friends, right? So good work. Really good work, Peggy. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Peggy, where do you live? You live in Michigan or you're investing in Michigan?
I live in Michigan and I'm going to dominate Michigan. Sorry, other Michigan people in chat.
Peggy, I'll bring in one of my best friends, Jory Alston. He lives in Puerto Rico, but he invests in Michigan. You got to know him because he'll buy a lot of your Michigan deals. Okay.
Yes. Awesome. That would be beautiful. Thank you.
Yes. You're awesome. Thank you. Good work. Questions like that and conversations like that make me so happy that I did this random Q&A today. Good to see everybody in here. All right. So let's get to it. Who else do we got? Bo Howard. I get another Bo question. What up, Bo? How you doing?
How's it hanging?
I mean, it's great.
Okay.
You got COVID too?
Yeah. I was only like the second or third time I've been sick in my life. I'm like such an above average specimen. I just never get sick. So whenever I do, I'm like dead.
Actually, I did notice that about you. When I first saw you in person, I was like, this guy is an above average specimen.
Okay. So one question, a little off topic, but how do I change my name on Zoom to add my phone number and my area and all that cool stuff?
You know what? I actually don't know that answer. Somebody else will have to teach you. If I did, I would put my name on there.
So, I don't know if Ingrid kind of asked this at the Q&A thing during, when we were at Clever, but I was going to ask you, so like, you're very, like you really care, you're very empathetic, like you're all about, like you really genuinely care about the seller, their situation, what they're going through and helping them out.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same way this whole community is. I think that's why we're all here, but how do you draw the line between being like empathetic and sympathetic and just genuinely caring for them and like letting your emotions make your business decisions for you?
My favorite saying of all time is buyers are liars, sellers are worse. And so I draw my line in the sand knowing that the seller's going to lie to me. I know they will. Every seller will lie to you. Every single seller you've ever done a deal with, ever will do a deal with, will lie to you to some degree. And I know that to be true. It took me a while. I got sucked into that vortex of like caring way too much about the seller. And I've just learned through practice where to draw that line and also where to somewhat be disconnected from the emotional outcome of the relationship. Because here's what I also learned. After like 100 deals with my sellers, Even when I wanted to keep a relationship with the majority of them, I probably have kept a relationship with 5%, maybe 10% of my sellers. No, 10%. That's way too high. Probably 5% of my sellers. Legit. If I've done over 1,000 deals, I have 50 sellers that I text maybe once to two times a quarter, right? I have a couple of sellers, like I have one, Dave, the guy who helped me create this logo, that we became actual friends, but that's 5%, 5 out of 100. So I learned that through experience of knowing where to draw the line based on my personality. I don't take their problems to heart. And I know that the majority, this is a tough thing to say outwardly, but I know that most of the sellers that are getting themselves into bad situations, it's our job to get them out of them. Foreclosure, divorce, bankruptcy, probate, blah, 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 all the things. Most of them didn't get there because life is just hard.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them got there because they're irresponsible, make bad decisions, trust the wrong people, and they don't want to work, and they're in bad things. So I can trust them as far as I can throw them. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to care about them and want to see them on the end of that story as a winner, right? So I just have learned the long answer. I've just given you a very long answer. The long answer is I've learned through experience that I have to limit myself to them because they are lying to me. At some point, I will hear them, feel them, see them lie. And I realize that my job is to my business and my partners and my family at the end of the day. I told this to April Giuliano today, mastermind student. She's a big leader. She joined the mentorship as a homeless person 2 years ago. Literally this month, she joined 2 years ago. She was homeless. And she makes over $1 million a year now, right? But I told her, I said, your first and foremost job is to take response. She's sitting over there serving everybody, right? She's serving, doing all this stuff for people. And I'm like, April, you're not serving anybody unless you're serving yourself first and foremost, because you have a responsibility, not necessarily to yourself, but to your household. Could be your wife, could be your husband, could be your kids, could be your dog, could be your cat, could be your alien lover. I don't care who it is, but you have a responsibility to your household first and foremost. So what I look at is I look at my household first and I go, and what I'm doing with this seller, helping them move, buying them groceries, giving them a gift card, doing those types of things, is that going to serve my family first and foremost? If so, then I'm willing to invest the time and the energy above and beyond. But if it doesn't, and I'm just sitting there trying to help the seller, I have been a victim of thousands of dollars stolen from me because the old sweet lady that I thought was being honest with me knew how to take me for a ride.
It's the old sweet ones that are the worst, man.
They are the worst. They've had more time to learn how to lie better.
Yeah.
So what more specifically you're not talking about other students, you're talking about sellers specifically. Is that correct?
Yeah. So one thing I've been trying to kind of like come to terms with is like the vast majority of like very successful business people that I know are like cold-blooded sharks who just don't like give a shit, you know?
Yep.
But like I've always kind of said like, oh, I'm going to be a terrible, business owner when I get older, just because I'm way too soft. I have way too much of a heart. I care too much about other people. And that's one of the things that drew me to you and this community in general is you guys aren't that way. I mean, you guys are the successful business people that you actually have a heart. And so just kind of trying to find that line of like not being run over by people, but also not being like a cold-hearted dick.
Yeah, it's tough. Here's one thing I've learned is that I've been taken advantage of, stolen from, all that kind of stuff. And what I've learned now is that the second I notice somebody throwing up red flags, I consider that the greatest blessing on planet Earth, that they showed me who they were well before. So like, forget about sellers for a little bit. Like if you guys are partnering with somebody or doing deals with somebody and there's red flags popping up all over the place, usually I'd say 99% of the time, where there's smoke, there's fire. And so I'm grateful when people are cold-hearted. I'm grateful when people take advantage or show me who they are in a negative light, because I immediately know to get them out of my circle. And I also, I also have learned that there's a 1% in everything you do. Meaning, people talk about the 99% and the 1%, right? The 1% of the wealthy people in the world versus the 99%. There's a reason why there's a 99% and a 1%, and it comes down to work ethic and effort, right? for the most part. Yes, there's some people that are crippled and, you know, have had some physical impairments, but guess what? There's also people that are crippled that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars because they've learned how to put in effort and energy. Right. So I get it. There's people that have had bad hands dealt to them, but in the professional world, there's no different. You're going to have 100 title companies and one of them you're going to really enjoy working with. You're going to have 100 banks or bank tellers that you run into that you're going to enjoy one of them. Typically, you're going to run into 100 real estate agents that you're going to enjoy truly working with one of them. And so you have to learn how to filter people in and out of your life without being rude about it, which, Bo, it's the opposite of you. You're not rude at all. You're a sweetheart. So you have to learn how to very quickly filter people and learn that it is the process. It is a requirement. And this is why it takes a while, right? People that are in their early 20s, you need to go through and filter people as quickly as possible to get your tribe and your crew together. I succeed on a daily basis because I filtered through hundreds and hundreds of people to find the people that vibe with me energetically, ethically, both religiously or spiritually or whatever, and work ethically, right? So you have to filter through. Same thing with sellers. And when you're talking to sellers, more specifically to Ingrid's question, my upfront contracts with sellers are usually what allows me to filter through sellers very quickly, right? So like I just dropped a seller call in the Facebook group that was like an hour and 9 minutes. Really, really good seller call. They had so many great objections to sub 2. Did anybody see that, by the way? Did anybody see that seller call I just dropped a couple of days ago? I feel like a lot of people haven't. Yeah, Tongue, did anybody learn anything like how to overcome objections on that? It's very good. It's honestly one of the best seller calls I've ever done. I just dropped it a couple of days ago. Derek says, you got to tag more people to get more interaction. The reality is my students don't care about me in the Facebook group. They care about each other. So when I make a post, you guys care about your stuff, not my stuff. It's very good. Maybe Kelly can drop it in here. Tanisha or somebody can drop it in here. So Todd says, who's Pace Morby? Yeah. Okay. So what happened is if you go back and watch that seller call, I very quickly, so when you guys say I'm really susceptible to sellers and like spending too much time with them, guys, it's because you're not pulling out the black swan. Bo, do you know what the black swan is?
Bad movie.
It's the unknown enemy. Who's my unknown enemy in a real estate transaction? It's another wholesaler. It's another real estate agent. It's an attorney. It's everything. Okay. So check this out. This is really funny. I do such a great job pulling out like, well, why haven't you sold the house yet? Why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? Well, your realtor is going to crap all over this. You know, they bring up their realtor and they bring up other things. And I go, well, your realtor is going to hate it. And this is going to happen. And as long as you're okay with that, we'll move past all that. Guess who I didn't bring up? I didn't bring up their attorney. And it took me 3 days to overcome the attorney because I didn't bring it up. And the sellers were like, well, you know, our this, that, and the other. And they're giving me all this runaround. And then I go, guys, what's going on? I don't have time for this. I don't have time. What's going on? They go, well, we're talking to our attorney now. I'm like, great. The one freaking black swan I didn't pull out was the attorney. I didn't even address the attorney. What I did, Bo, is I went back and listened to my call. Here's what I did. I go, well, I suggest you guys go talk to an attorney. In fact, I'll pay my attorney to have a conversation with you if you're okay with that. But nowhere in there did I say, do you guys have an attorney you plan on talking to? Very, very big difference.
Right.
And because I didn't ask that one question, I didn't pull out the black swan. And then guess what happens? 3 days goes of them freaking lying to me, taking my time, and then basically coming to me with this massive objection, which then requires me to go get back on the phone. And then, you know, the beginning of a phone call is always like super cumbersome of like, hey, how's your day? What'd you eat for lunch? What are you wearing? I don't know about you guys, but I ask everybody what they're wearing on my phone calls. So, but I now have to start that stupid thing all over again. And Bo, have you ever been on a phone call with people and the phone call is going so well, like you guys getting a vibe with each other, but sometimes it takes 3 or 4 minutes to like getting that vibe, and then you lose track of how long you've been on the phone?
Oh yeah, every time.
Right. So when you're on a phone call with a seller and you're having a great pitch that's an hour and 9 minutes and you feel like you're killing it,
Mm-hmm.
it took me a couple minutes to get in sync with them. So now 3 days goes by, they're dealing with all this crap because I didn't ask one simple question. I didn't address the black swans, and I've been doing this business for a long time. I trusted myself, and I thought happens to me too. So for me, usually where sellers are stealing your time and taking advantage of you is because you have not addressed the four black swans. Oh, I'm sorry, 5 black swans. What are the 5 black swans? There's 5 black swans. Okay, Tanisha's got 1, realtor. Let's do realtor, attorney. Tanisha's got 2. Family, husband or wife, right? Typically not kids.
Liens.
Another wholesaler. Okay, so investors, realtors, attorney, family members, like, oh yeah, sorry, family members like children, right? In a probate situation, or their husband or wife. Those are the 5 black swans. Or Bianca, as Bianca says, the devil on the shoulder. Yeah, it's the devil on the 5 devils on their shoulder. And I didn't address the attorney. I addressed everybody else. I got the husband on a 3-way call, homeboy. I built rapport with the husband. I brought up the children. I brought up the realtor, other investors, and the one freaking time I don't bring up the attorney, guess what? I lose 3 days and I have to get back on a phone call. And I'm like, man, I just wasted all my time. And so your question is like, how do I prevent myself from wasting time with these sellers? Pull out the 5 black swans in every phone call.
Or not even so much like wasting time with them, but just like letting your emotions make your business decisions for you. You know, you get like emotionally involved with it. I can't really think of an example right now off the top of my COVID fried head, but
I mean, I get excited about deals. Like I salivate on a juicy deal, right? I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I've got a deal right now. We're going to make $200,000 on it. I'm like deviating from what my normal course of action is. So like this morning in my morning planning session with myself, I look at like the things that I got to do. And I look at that deal. I go, oh, that's a shiny object. I'm getting emotionally attached to this $200,000 deal. Just follow the process. So dude, I don't know that you're ever going to stop your ability to do that. You just have to be aware of your human tendency of caring too much and then also chasing a deal. And when you chase money, guess what happens?
You lose.
Yeah, you lose. It runs away, right?
I guess that's where like accountability comes in and having your battle buddies and people that you're like talking with and bouncing ideas off of to kind of help keep you grounded comes into play.
I would say so.
That's what the sub 2 community is for.
How's it? Have you been hanging out with Carolina and her husband?
Yeah.
Aren't they great?
Yeah, they're my mom and dad.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they're my mom and dad too.
Yeah.
No, they're not old. They're not old at all. They're young.
No, I have such a great group of friends in here now. It's kind of funny. Like, I remember when you were talking about your book, Your Friends Suck. And I was like, yeah, like I still like my friends and stuff. Like I'm still gonna hang out with them, but I've noticed this like natural, like,
oh yeah.
It's not even like no animosity or nothing. It's just different life paths. So there's that separation there. But then on this side, there's just this natural kind of converging together, which I've said to a few of these people in here, like pretty much the only friends I have anymore, like in this community, like the only people I talk with, just because it's like things I'm into and I'm passionate about and where I'm going. And you're just kind of like gravitate toward people going the same direction. And so like on all my contacts, my phone, I put a little emoji in there so I know who's who. And it's like, you just scroll through and just all you see are, deuces everywhere. It's
seriously. It's like the land before time with Littlefoot.
Yeah.
all these diverse characters all come together, right? And they all go after the promised land, right? Chasing that star leaf, right? Yeah, and then what you see is you see other characters going the other way, like teasing them, like you're going the wrong way. But that's what sub 2 is, right? Sub 2 is like, all of us are very diverse and we're all over the country, different color, skin, different everything, different races, different everything. We're all the same human race, but like, everybody's a little bit different. We got young people in here. We've got, you guys know we have a member of sub 2 that doesn't know how to use Zoom because they're 91 years old and they've gotten 2 deals this year.
That's epic.
Yeah. I got a guy, his name is amazing. I call him Billy the Kid, but we've got a student named Billy the Kid in the Carolinas that he's never been on Zoom. He's not a technologically savvy guy, but he started sub 2 with like 15 sub 2s, and he'd like already retired, and he was living in South Carolina. And he then saw me on YouTube a couple of years ago, and he was like, I want to join this guy's mentorship just to help him out. Cause this guy's he's preaching my word. So he comes in and all he does is help out the students in the Carolinas. And I think he's at like 58 sub 2 deals. He texts me, I don't know, once a month, probably from a dial-up phone. He's figuring out how to like T9 me a text message or something like that. And anybody that's in the Carolinas, I go, look, contact Billy the Kid. Dude is unbelievable. You'll never see him on Zoom with us because he's not tech savvy, but he joined because he saw that same convergence. He was like, look at this amazing community. I've known about sub 2 for 20 years, but nobody's ever created a community around it. And he joined just so he could be around the energy. So yeah, it's really cool.
That's what's up.
It's super dope. So anyway, hopefully that answers your question.
It helps.
Brianka says, what's his number? You want me to give you guys his number? One of the most epic people of all time. You guys should all text him. He won't even know what to do with his life.
Send him a long one so it comes in 3 separate text messages.
I don't know if you can. He probably has a beeper or a pager or something. Yeah, I'll put it in the side chat for you guys so you guys have it. He's older than me, but I call him Billy the Kid.
That's awesome. Hey, I got a serious 911 coming. I got to run, but appreciate
later.
Chat. I'll be back in a few. Thanks, Pace.
Later, bro. All right. Ooh, Stephen Allen. We were ironically just talking about you, bro. What up?
Dude, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Awesome. I am so excited after that Clever Summit, man. It was such a pleasure meeting you and everyone in the group. I made some great connections, and I got a fire lit under me, man.
Me too. I like came home and I'm like, bro, I want to do deals.
Yep, absolutely. So one of the reasons I raised my hand today was actually because I am starting a sub 2 crypto group. And basically, do you like, just basically talking to everyone, do you like feel tech-tard and don't really have a clue about what like all this NFT and blockchain stuff is? And I know a lot of people are in the same boots as you. And basically what I'm trying to do is take and help all those people that feel overwhelmed with the massive amount of information that you have to learn on top of all this real estate stuff. All those people, I'm not talking to you right now. I'm looking for all the techies. I'm looking for anyone who is in that world, software developer, people who know title, and people with a passion for crypto technology and that sort of thing. I'm putting together a group for all of us to come together and brainstorm. I've got an application that I'm writing, and I'm combining.
You're right now, just so you know, your wife is hitting on you in the side chat.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what kind of move she's trying to pull right now. But she's like, Steven's so cute when he talks tech. What a good wife, bro.
I think so.
There's millions of men out there that would just be so grateful to have that love and that cute flirting stuff. So good work for you, bro.
Thanks. See, she's got me all
you're not looking
now.
for the brand new people. So let me
No,
throw something.
it's not. They don't have to necessarily be brand new. It's anyone that's a techie. I'm looking for this just initial one. I'm putting together a brainstorming and whiteboarding session so that we can get all of our ideas together, hash them out, figure out what's working, what's not going to work, and then after that, I'm going to bring in everyone else. And we're basically, the goal is to help everyone, hold their hand, get them set up, make it as easy as possible to transition from the world of not knowing anything into getting their first NFT and be prepared for when you actually drop your NFTs.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch of other pieces around that, but that's just the general. I've got a form that if you're interested in being in that deep dive session, I'm aiming for Friday. Please fill it out, and that way we can get together and do that brainstorm, and then we'll continue on. Pace, I know you're doing you've got your NFT going, and I wanted to discuss a little bit about that with you on how that's actually set up. I don't know if you want to put me in contact with the guy that's doing yours, or
I would love to.
yeah, that'd be great. I get, that's basically, it was more of an announcement than anything. So
okay, so Steven, I've got Kelly creating a Discord channel for the sub 2 members that have ownership of my NFT.
okay.
And that would include you, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want, I'll get you involved in that, and you can help me run all that. And I'll put all of my crypto energy into you, and you can kind of help run that group. If you,
I would absolutely love that.
I would be grateful if you would.
I would love that.
Okay. So here's what I'm working on with. I'm working on a guy named Peter who made, I think, $35 million last year with NFTs.
Okay.
Crazy amount of money. And he runs a big group of like 60,000 people. And he is going to be writing our smart contract for the project. So essentially my goal with this is a couple of things. So I've got a house already, right? And this house is the house in Arlington. And I bought it subject to. I'm taking ownership of this and putting it into an LLC. Okay. This LLC will then be split up into individual shares that will be held essentially by either NFTs, we're still figuring this out, or potentially even a coin, like a Pace coin.
Okay, that's what I was hoping you'd say.
Okay.
I was hoping you weren't renting everything.
There's a lot of legalities with me giving money away. Okay. Like I can't just give ownership of things away and then people have the ability to trade these things and like not have securities attorneys involved in this stuff. So we're working through that right now. Okay. My plan is with this deal, for anybody that's new, don't know about this. I have been talking about this for months, but some people are just brand new. So here's what I'm doing is that Arlington, I gave this away, right? I gave it to a group of people. I gave it to people who came to Clever in person. And I also gave additional ownership to people who came to Clever in person and our mastermind students, et cetera, blah, blah. You guys have all been part of those Zooms that at least didn't know about this project. And so it's impossible for you now to have a part of this NFT if you weren't part of it in the first place. Sorry. I will do future NFTs. I will do future things that you'll be a part of. So my plan is the cash flow from this Airbnb or this rental that I turn Arlington into, the appreciation and other benefits of this property, like the loan pay down and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to give people the depreciation on this because that would be a nightmare. Okay. So you don't get depreciation on it, but the loan pay down, the cash flow, the appreciation will compound. Okay. And it will compound, let's say, to a point where now this LLC has $35,000 in it, hypothetically. What am I going to do with that $35,000? I will then buy a second property subject to or seller finance. And then that will then compound into a third house. And all of these properties continue to produce and produce and produce and produce to the point where at some point, obviously these NFTs, whoever has these, either the NFT or the coin, will have an additional piece of value at the longer we own the property together, right? So I gave that away. I just literally gave that away. But what am I doing, Stephen? What's the main reason I'm doing this? One, yes, I want to do cool things that other people aren't doing. Two, I want to reward my action takers. Three, the main thing I'm doing is I'm trying to change the game of title and escrow.
Yep.
I think in 10 years from now, people say sooner, but I don't think it's going to happen because you have to have adoption, right? You have to have a lot of people not fight you on this. And I think you're gonna have a lot of title companies like Fidelity and big, massive, multi-billion-dollar companies are gonna fight against this technology. So it's gonna take minimum 5, probably closer to 10, maybe even upwards of 15 years before the whole entire title and escrow game has been disrupted. Right. And so what I wanna do is I wanna enter into that space, either as a leader of that space, by starting cool projects and getting acclimated to the world and the developers and the smart contract, right? You know, everybody that's involved in that world, and start leveraging helping our community get a crypto wallet, get
Right.
an actual
MetaMask, or
wallet.
maybe get their wallet set up, and yeah.
Get your wallet set up, understand what this looks like, understand all the things you can do with it, how to store it, how to gain value, how to trade it, do all that kind of stuff. And I need somebody that's driving this. And if you want to be part of it, I would love that.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'll put you in touch with Peter. Peter's the guy that's doing it with me, and I'll put you in touch with Peter, and you can be my guy.
Okay, sounds good.
That's a big deal for a lot of people. Like you being able to give updates monthly and all that kind of stuff, that'd be sick.
Absolutely. I'm so looking forward to it, man. I mean, I got into crypto back in 2011 when Bitcoin was 25 cents a coin. And, I used it for a bunch of years.
That makes so much sense why Carolina's in love with you, bro. It makes so much sense. I now understand it.
No, I just really want to help other people get, bridge that gap between, the techies and the real world stuff, and bring them easily into the metaverse and all this other arena that, looks really scary for them when, I just want to make it easy for people, help them out.
Yeah, of course.
Grab their hand and get it, make it smooth.
I'll have you run that Discord channel, and I'll have you kind of run that, and I'll compensate you for doing such, so that we have a good relationship.
Okay, cool. I'm totally looking forward to it.
Anything else, brother?
No, that's pretty much it. I look forward to seeing you in Mastermind. It's gonna be awesome, and in Washington too.
Yeah, we're gonna be hanging out. And where do you guys think I'm staying? You think I'm staying at Robin's house? No, Robin's house is the office. Your house is where I'm staying.
Woo!
All right. Good to see you, brother.
Nice to see you.
Ooh, Tanisha Epps. How you doing, Tanisha?
Hi, Pace. How you doing?
Did you get sick too?
Yeah, but it's not COVID.
Love it. You got the flu or something?
Yep, all the other stuff everybody else got,
That's too bad.
It's okay. I think Elena was talking about the picture she snagged when we were on video earlier. It was actually very entertaining.
I need to see that.
Yeah, I'll let her send it to you. Well, as long as it doesn't end up on YouTube or Instagram. I don't.
I'll put it all over. I'll put it everywhere.
Yes, I know that you will. That's funny. So I'm actually over here talking to Wendy. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. It's Kesl. She's very nervous about meeting you or saying hello. So I guess she'll be at the. I know she'll be at the Boise meetup, but I'm literally messaging her right now. So
you better be at the Boise meetup.
Yeah, she said she's going to meet you at the Boise meetup, but I just want to make sure that she has a chance to meet you in person.
Yeah, I mean, Boise will probably have 150 people there. I'll be able to meet every single person there.
Perfect. Wendy, please make it a point. I'm literally messaging her right now, but make it a point.
Is Wendy in here right now? I don't think she's in here. Tanisha, is she in here right now, or she's just messaging you? Oh, Tanisha's frozen. Sounds like her computer got frozen too. All right, well, I lost Tanisha, unfortunately, guys. Sorry. Sean Baxter, what up, Sean Baxter?
Oh, hold on. Can you hear us?
Hey, guys, how's it going? Look at that freaking mullet. I love that.
Thanks. This is Bridger.
Hello.
He's going to be the next real estate guru.
You know what? He's not the first Bridger with a mullet. I can tell you that right now.
All right.
One of my best friends lived in Pleasant Grove, Utah. Bridger, and he had the greatest mullet. And now Sean, your son Bridger, is going to have the greatest mullet as he grows up. I love it.
Yeah. What are you gonna do when you grow up?
Buy real estate.
Yeah.
Tell him. He has people ask him. What do you tell him?
I want.
Start with the string. Tell Pace what you're gonna do when you grow up.
Bridger, what are you gonna do when you grow up, bro?
Buy real estate, become a multimillionaire, and live
That's
right.
right. That's my guy. I love it.
We're working
Good
on it.
answer.
Hey, nice meeting you. Question for you. I got to remember it now since it's been too long. I don't quite got all the Gator lending thing, but what part of it is I'm switching an old Roth 401k over to self-directed.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it is trying to figure out how to partner with somebody that's got the same thing going on so I can transfer all of it back into the self-directed, tax-free, then put it into your multifamily syndication. Do you know anything about that?
You're saying you want to jump into my multifamily syndication?
Well, I was switching it over because do you know how they work, right?
Yeah, I know how they work.
Okay, so I want to switch it because I'm pretty sure on your Gator lending, by the end of the year, you're going to have to pay a whole bunch of taxes on capital gains. Correct? If I do it through my self-directed, I don't have to pay any capital gain.
That is correct.
And I want to build it up enough, and the way you're saying it, it goes fast enough that if it hits 500, a million, 2 million, then I can switch that all over and fund into like a syndication, like that you just brought up today. It was like that, something like that.
Love it. Yeah. What I can do is I can bring somebody in next week and talk about that specifically for anybody else that wants to do that same exact thing. I think there's a handful of people like Aaron says Derek says they have the same thing. If you guys want me to do that, I can bring somebody in next week. I have somebody that'd be amazing at that.
Yeah. But I mean, the big thing is you're going to have to do it with like another sub-2 student and somehow contract say, hey, I'm going to have to, because I can't touch it. Somebody else has to. But if somebody does it and say, hey, part of the contract is if I put 100,000 in, you got to put 100,000 or whatever that level is. So
I can bring somebody in next week to like walk you guys through it and show you guys the strategy on how to solve that.
Sweet. That'd be awesome.
Thank you for that suggestion. That'll be good.
Thanks, Pace.
Thank you all.
Hey, thanks, Bridger.
You're welcome.
Mullet man, I love it. Good work, bro. Keep growing that thing out. Who is actually interested in being my partner on that 400 plus unit deal? Anybody in here? Love it, love it, love it. Cool. Very cool. Wow. That's a lot of people. Eddie, one of the Bash brothers. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What is up, Pace?
Bro, you got a microphone and everything?
Oh, dog. You should see the setup.
Dude, I'm
getting ready. Went full time.
I want to see the setup, dog. I want to see it.
You want to see it?
Yeah, what do you got?
All right, dude. So I got to get my camera. So hold on. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna switch it on my phone. There we go.
Oh, we get to see you twice.
No, I'm just gonna switch.
You're setting up your studio? Christy Pate says someone's in that bear. Oh, that's so good. Let's see. I think Eddie comes in here. He's got to have his phone on there too. Let's see. Where you at, dog?
Oh, there we go.
There he is. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is looking good.
Yeah, I got to represent with that sub-2 right there.
Bro, this is sick.
Yeah.
What a great setup, dude.
Dude, thank you. I'm gonna switch back.
You can be on Zoom and still answer emails and text sellers and do all sorts of stuff.
Oh yeah, I just got to switch it back.
That's dope. Come back on here.
All right.
What do you got for me?
All right, so I got a quick question. So one, so I have access to a HELOC, or not even a HELOC, just money on I have like 120,000 of equity at my house. So I'm wondering, what would you suggest as far as like what Tyler and I should do with this? Obviously Gator lending and stuff like that, but since I went full time, I don't have a W-2 anymore. What would you say would be the best way to pull equity out of the deal without? And I mean, I got a 2.875%, so I can't really do anything there.
Okay, so you don't want to refinance it because you don't want to get rid of your interest rate that you have.
Yeah.
So you have equity in there of $120,000. There's a couple of things you could do. You could find somebody else in the community that has 80, 90 grand and go, hey, I'll give you a lien against my property for you and I to go partner on your capital, and then we'll go Gator lend with your money and I'll run it. You could do that.
Okay.
Right? If I could get somebody who goes, you go, hey, I've been in here. I'm a mastermind student. I've got, a lot more experience than some of you guys, but if somebody has money, you want me to run it, you could use your equity in your house as collateral and bring that to the partnership. And then you bring the activity and the deal flow and all that kind of stuff to the partnership. And then you guys split it until you get to a point where you build up enough cash, you just split off and do it on your own.
Okay.
Syed, who's in Arizona, he says a HELOC's not bad. A HELOC's not a bad idea, but you did just quit your job.
That is, yeah, I did.
That's going to be a problem getting a HELOC.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
So I would have said, Kyle says, let's talk. Kyle apparently has cash and he wants to give it to you, Eddie.
That sounds good to me. Let's see. I'm gonna write down.
TJ Hatch says, I got money.
Well, let's talk. Let's do it. Let's definitely do it. My number's obviously there. Otherwise, I will write down these numbers as we go. Also, my second question is, so we have a deal in Knoxville, Tennessee, right?
Yeah. Multifamily.
We
deal?
own it. What's that?
Is this a single family or multifamily?
Yeah, it's single family deal. So it's gonna be, we were originally gonna wholesale it out and just to get rid of it and stuff. But then we forgot that this deal was sort of like locked in at like 28 days from the purchase agreement. Yeah. And we went to Vegas and everything. So last minute, it's supposed to be closing on Monday. It's a smaller deal, 100 grand. And I think we already messaged Molly about it. And just literally Tyler sent it over while we were on the Zoom, and we're looking, it's going to be it's a 960 square foot house.
Wait, you're asking me for 100 grand?
170 grand.
For how long?
4 months.
Okay.
And Ben Lujan's actually going to be going out there and doing the flip for us.
So 170 for 4 months, which means 5 months.
5 months, yeah.
Why don't you use a hard money lender?
I don't think I can close it by Monday.
Because a hard money lender is going to be cheaper than me. I mean, I could fund it for a week while you work on getting a hard money lender to replace me. But 5 months, man, I could do a lot of damage with $170,000 in 5 months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, exactly. So I was just trying to figure out another way to get money real quick. That way
I could fund you for a week, maybe 10 days while you work on getting a hard money lender.
Okay. I mean, I have the hard money lender already lined up. So it's just a sense of it takes some time to get them to fund.
Then let's have that conversation. I'd be happy to do it. I don't want to tie up my money long term.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm putting my money into, I'm putting my money in 3 things right now. I'm putting my money in multifamily funds, right? Like that big 400 unit deal I'm doing. I'm putting money into building title companies and all of that. And I'm putting money into my lending business, right? I want to have like millions of dollars in my lending business, or put millions of dollars in my multifamily deal, because multifamily has just, in my opinion, just barely begun. And if we have a downturn in the economy, multifamily is just going to blow up even more. So for me, I'm like, I want to dump as much money as I can in multifamily for the next couple of years. So, if you guys need short-term money, 10 days or less, I'm down. You just let me know how long you need it and what you're willing to pay me for that 10 days or 5 days or whatever it is, and I'll do it.
Okay, cool. That answers that question.
Ty Brady, here's the thing. So like Ty Brady says, how much do I need to partner on a title company? I get a lot of students that ask me this question. So first and foremost, I only partner with mastermind students on title and escrow companies. You could go start your own title company right now. Somebody else could go out and start your own title company right now. $200,000 is about what it costs to start one. So let's say that you go start a title and escrow company, 200 grand. Who's gonna drive the traffic? Because at the end of the day, the title and escrow company's value is based on how many files it can do. So people come to me all the time. They go, I want to start a title and escrow company. I'm like, man, you haven't even posted on IG in 7 months. Just because you have a Subway sandwich shop doesn't mean somebody's going to go buy sandwiches from you. How are you going to spin that sign and get people to come in and buy your sandwiches, right? So that's it. The value of a title company with me is not even me funding it. The value of owning a title company with me is that Jamil and I are partners on it with you. It's actually me and Jamil. So think about all the Astro students, all the sub 2 students, all the Keegley franchises, everybody in a state drives their traffic to one place. Pretty powerful, right? So that's the value of owning a title company with me is not me funding it. It's me driving traffic to it. So that's the value. Eddie.
Yeah.
I don't want to lend you money for 5 months, but I will lend you money for 10 days while you figure out your hard money lender.
You got it.
Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, you too, man.
Who's in is Tyler in that teddy bear right now?
Dude, that thing is huge. Have you seen those things before?
That thing's massive.
Bro, check this out. I'm gonna show you something.
Now, somebody else, by the way, guys, he's wearing jorts. Holy crap, bro. Are you kidding me?
God.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's also scary. It's also scary.
I'm gonna create some content with that thing.
So guys, if anybody does want to fund Eddie for a long period of time, feel free to reach out to him. He is a trustworthy, amazing guy in the community. Him and his partner are awesome. And I just don't want to fund long term. I don't want to be a hard money lender. I want to be short term or put my money into multifamily stuff. We're
also willing to do some equity too. So.
Oh, dope. There you go. Mooney says Pace wants equity. He is correct. Good to see you, brother.
You too. Thank you.
There's a couple people that had like, okay, let's see. All right, cool. David, how you doing, man?
How's it going, Pace?
What's up, brother?
Good. I'm good. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Good to be a part of this community.
It's the best.
Good to be part of this community. One thing I wanted to ask you first before I got to the deal, just one thing I wanted to ask, because I noticed there's a lot of military members in the sub 2 community. I was thinking if we can get an accountability group for military members and how we can go ahead and get together and go ahead and do the thing that we do with sub 2. Just go ahead and get together. I know there's a lot of lenders there because I met a few of them when I first started, especially Rob. He's out of Utah.
Hey, check that out. You got a lot of people in here. You got a lot of people in here saying veteran, boom, Air Force, boom, Air Force veteran, boom.
Absolutely. I know there's a ton of us in here. So I was also thinking about doing that. So that's something I'm thinking about. So, and I really want to do it too, because I went through everything. I went to get my credit done. I went to do a lot of things that I need to do to make myself successful, to make all these properties like you do. So I'm trying to do that, trying to be big, trying to become a leader, like you say. Even though this is only my third day in the mentorship, I really enjoy the camaraderie. There's a lot of people who welcome me. I got quite a few numbers. You say make 25. I'm not there yet. I'm getting close. I'm getting
you'll
real
get
close.
there, bro. Just wait till you're in year
Yeah.
2 inside the sub 2 mentorship. You'll be like, I have 2,000 friends.
I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that. So I have a deal over here, and I'm from Orlando, Florida. So I got a deal over here near where I am, and there's a seller. He actually has a property 290, but this is in the last month of his deal. Is in the last month of a realtor is on the market. So the listing is maybe a month in, actually about a month to be done. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to go ahead and get the deal. So the deal is, this is the specifics about it. The specifics about the deal is that it's a $290,000 house. This is the hybrid I was talking about. It's a $290,000 house.
Okay.
And the house itself, I'm trying to do the hybrid. So it has a $191,000 mortgage still on it. And so
191,000?
Yes, 191,000.
Sounds like a slam dunk deal to me.
Yes. But the problem is that he doesn't want me to take over his sub two, because he says there's a lot of things that's connected to it, toward that mortgage. But when I looked it up, I didn't see any liens or anything of that sort on it. So I'm not sure if he's trying to hide something. And I always thought about what you say, sellers are liars. So I'm not sure if he's holding back because they don't want to do something about it. But it's $191,000. It is a refinance. It was paid off, but he refinanced it for about 200,000, but now it's 191,000. So what I was thinking about was taking it over subject to, and then seller financing the mortgage. I mean, the rest of the equity.
Okay.
So,
I mean, there's really not a lot of equity there, bro.
No, it's about maybe the house is worth about 290.
Oh, 290.
$100,000 worth of equity.
Okay, got it.
Yes, sir.
I thought you were saying the house was worth 200. Yeah. Okay.
290. Yeah. So it's about $100,000 worth of equity, but he's looking for $30,000 down payment from the equity.
Okay.
So what I was thinking is, instead of, since he was given a hard time about not doing a subject to, I was thinking about maybe doing the PACE method, try to go to my investor loan, see if I can get a loan on top of that. And then once I get the maximum loan, the loan can probably cover the $30,000 payment if they allow me to do it. And then I could seller finance the rest of the equity. So I'm not sure how that would work. Like, say if I know they only give a certain percentage of the appraised value of the home, but if they give this percentage above the 30,000 that I need, I can use a portion of that to actually sell the property. I mean, to use it for the down payment.
So what do you want to do? What do you want to do with the property?
I'll rent it out, because this is not I looked on airdna.co, and it's
David,
not a good area.
Here's what I would do. If I were you, I'm brand new in this community. Here's what I would do. I would find another student that would come in with the $30,000 down payment and partner with them on the deal. And then that way you don't have to go get a loan. You don't have to go, raise capital. You don't have to do any of that kind of stuff. Bring a partner in on the deal, but have them bring 30 grand to the table and partner with them on it 50-50. Now, it's not ideal necessarily, because, sometimes it's like, it'd be nice to own the property by myself, but also having the property where you have no money out of your pocket, didn't have to use any credit or any of that kind of stuff. I would just personally, I would partner with somebody and give them some equity for them bringing the $30,000.
Yeah, I think the only issue I'm having is that the actual refinance portion of the mortgage that he has, I got to convince him and try to have him separate what he has, or tell me exactly what he has, but he won't tell me the other liens that's connected to it, even though I don't see it, because I looked it up on PropStream and doesn't show any additional liens on that particular mortgage that he has, but he says he has some, but he won't allow me to do a subject to on it. So that's why that's the only reason why I was going to my investor loan.
I feel like we're missing something with this. Why would he not want you to have a subject to there?
Because it's just him. He doesn't want to do it. I don't know why he doesn't want to do it, but every time I bring it up, he says, "Oh, well, I got other things attached to it. I don't want to do that." So I was trying to look, instead of arguing with him, I noticed that you don't argue with them. You just try to find a solution around it. So I was trying to see if I can actually get a loan, my investor loan, so I can actually cover that mortgage that he owes. So it would be in my name.
So what are the 3 reasons why a seller won't sell to us on seller finance or subject to? What are the 3 reasons? Number one.
So the number one reason is he don't understand it.
Yep, because either they don't understand it or we have not provided we have not explained it properly, right?
Yes.
Number 2, what's number 2?
Number 2 is that we didn't explain the property, or they just don't want it. Number 3, they don't want to do it. So,
number 1, they don't understand it, and you haven't done a good job explaining it, which I've done that too.
Oh, I know what it is. Before you even say that, I know what it is. Is that they just need the cash for something, and they don't want to.
There you go. That's number 2. Number 2 is they need the money, not want the money. They need the money for something else. And, that's like my daughter's wedding is happening next week and I have to sell this house and I need the cash, or I need the cash for a down payment on another house, or whatever it may be. Right. And then number 3 is they have zero pain, no reason to sell to you. They're not even interested in selling. It doesn't sound like that's the case for this guy. Number 3, he wants to sell, right? He's open to selling the property to you. So it's either 1 or 2. It's either we've done a bad job of explaining it, or this guy needs the money for something else. But he's already told you he's willing to give it to you for $30,000 down, right?
Yes, absolutely. And the reason he needs the $30,000 is because he had to renovate. It's already renovated, but the contractor that he used actually did all the work and expected him to get the money after the sale of the property. So he's had it on the market for so long. He's looking for $70,000 down. So he's looking for too much down payment. So none of the buyers are looking to purchase that property because he's looking for too much of a down payment. And even with a conventional loan, the 20% is only about $64,000 you need to put down, but he's looking for too much. So he's having a big trouble. So that's why he's strongly going through my method. But the only problem is he won't allow me to subject to the actual refinance loan that he has on the property because he claims he has something on it. So I'm not sure what he's holding back or what he's not telling me, but that's the only piece that I'm missing, is that I can't do anything with that subject with that loan unless I do my investor loan, because he won't allow me to subject to your.
Why couldn't he do David? I know you're 3 days in the program, but do you know what an agreement for sale is?
Yes, it's where he keeps the property, the title in his name, but I'm still the purchaser and I can do whatever I want with it.
Yeah. So would that potentially work, where you just do an agreement for sale, give him $30,000 down?
He just wants to be done with the property. So I think.
Okay. So there's something going on there. It sounds like he might have a mechanics lien or has something going on there. So that deviates over to Morby method, right? So Morby method would be that you go to my investor loan gives you a loan. If the ARV is 300, let's say 290, my investor loan is probably going to give you a loan somewhere around 210 or 220, something like that. But you're going to have to bring a down payment to the table, and the Morby method makes it so the seller refunds your down payment after they close escrow, right? Do you understand that quite enough?
Yes.
Okay, so that sounds like that's probably the right strategy for you, but you would need to find either a financial partner or a Gator lender. Like a Gator lender is going to come in and do the transactional funding for you for a day, and they're going to probably want to make $5,000 for 1 day's worth of money, right?
And with the Morby method, that's exactly sounds like what I need to do. So I'm actually looking through the videos of the Morby method so I can get a full understanding on what it entails and the paperwork, so I can actually do that. So that's what I'm looking to do. So I was just trying to get your opinion if I should go ahead.
That's what I would do. I would do the Morby method. I would do the Morby method, and I would ask one of the students to help you fund your down payment and then get it reimbursed. Gabby Ruiz says, I can be your Gator lender. So there you go. You got people in here that'll fund that for you, right?
Okay. Yeah. The only problem is I just have to wait for the extra month. So until his listing contract is done, so I can actually pursue paperwork and what I need to do to get it on the contract.
There you go. Medium Wave Dave just said I would fund that. So you got lenders in here already. So here's what I would do, David, is I would tell him, hey, why don't we work out an agreement so I can start putting my money and my ducks in a row, and I can start working with my lender. And once your agreement is null and void with your agent, then mine then becomes, finalized. I wouldn't wait a month. I would go get them under contract today or tomorrow or the next day.
I didn't realize we can actually put them under contract and have a listing agreement at the same time. I didn't realize we can do that.
Yeah, you can write anything in a contract, right? You can write anything you want in a contract. You can state this contract goes into effect upon such and such date, upon the failure of the house to sell on the retail market, blah, 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 blah. And then the buyer, the only time that a contract cannot be signed is by the person who doesn't own the property. Okay, so you can write anything you want on a contract. But if somebody doesn't own it, then that doesn't mean anything, right? But I can write on a contract and says, buyer is aware that the seller is currently in a listing agreement with a real estate agent, and this contract does not become fulfilled or legitimate or whatever you want to write in there until the last day of the listing or 24 hours after the listing agreement. This contract then goes into effect. Does that make sense?
Okay, I did not know that. That's exactly what I would do then. Okay.
Yeah, I would
appreciate that.
I would go get that contract ASAP.
That's what
Good
I'm
work,
do.
man. David, you've been learning, man. This is fun. You've been 3 days in. You got a lot of knowledge already. This is awesome.
Yeah, because I've been actually even though before I went to the mentorship, I was looking at about 1,000 of your Zooms and all your talks with these sellers, and I gained a lot of knowledge. So that's why I was trying to come in and do it, because I know I could learn a lot more and have a lot more connections with the great family.
Yeah, and you can come in and actually ask me. You can ask me a question, get your answer. You can get. I mean, you literally could raise $1 million right here in the side chat on Zoom right now. Right.
It's fantastic. That's fantastic. That's why I wanted to come to this community. I appreciate that, everybody. So I'm gonna put my name. I'm gonna put my name and number in the side chat. So anybody want to fund, I know there is a lot of them. I've seen them too. So we'll talk about this deal, and I'm gonna get them on the contract so we can work out a good thing. So appreciate it, everybody.
Good work, David. Good work. Action taker.
Thank you, Pace.
Hey, David, by the way, what I would do is I would create a Discord channel, reach out to Jeremy Davis and Melissa and create a Discord channel specifically for the veterans in the group.
I'll definitely do that.
Okay.
It's like a sub community and a great community. So I'll definitely do that.
100%. Good work. All right. Guys, I only can do 3 hours tonight as a bonus Zoom. So I got 20 minutes. I will end up totaling, I don't know, probably 14 hours. Hey, Dylan Good.
What's up, man?
Guess who paid me today?
Xavier.
Xavier paid me $147.05. Here we are 2 years later. I'm still getting Chick-fil-A money every month from your seller.
Nice.
Hey guys, Dylan Good is one of my favorite people. He's been in the mentorship for nearly 2 years. I always called him Dylan Good, feeling good. And I haven't seen you in a couple months, but it's always good to see you come back, brother. We missed you. We love you. Just want to say hi to you.
Yeah, man. It's been a while since I've been in here. I had a question for you, but I'll let some other people answer.
Just shoot me a text. Dylan, shoot me a text and I'll send you a voice memo back.
Okay, cool.
Appreciate you, brother. Good to see you.
Yeah, see you guys.
Isaac, what up, dog?
Hey, what's going on, Pace?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm really good.
Yes, sir. So I got a question regarding a deal I'm working on in Paris, Texas.
Okay.
So the purchase price is $65,000. Down payment is 20%, 13 grand. So basically we'll be creating a note at 52 grand, and then the principal interest is $212.94 a month for 30 years. And then he's wanting a 5-year balloon at 43 grand. So the 5-year balloon is gonna be 43,000 and some change. So the issue I'm having right now is this property in Paris, Texas, I'm having issues figuring out what the value is. So
Okay, you know who you to reach out to? Reach out to one of my favorite brothers in here, Alejandro Alvarez. He's done deals in Paris, Texas.
absolutely, Alejandro, gotcha.
Do you know Alejandro?
I've seen him in the chat a
Bro,
lot.
do you live in DFW?
Yeah, I live in DFW.
How are you not homies with Alejandro?
That's a good question. Yeah, why am I not homies? What's up, Alejandro?
He's like a brother, dude. He's so great. Oh my gosh, I love Alejandro. I would reach out to Alejandro. He's done deals in Paris, and what's funny is he was just texting, or he was just messaging in the Zoom. He's like, "Oh, this last question's reminding me of like when I first joined Sub 2. I got my first Sub 2 deal in 2 weeks." He's amazing. He has a good partnership. He's a mastermind student. He's a leader. You can rely on him. Because I'm not going to be able to tell you value of Paris, Texas.
Absolutely.
Alejandro will though.
Gotcha. I'm gonna hit him up then.
Where'd you get this lead?
Cold calling. From.
Wait a minute. Cold calling works?
Yeah, it works.
I know. I love cold calling is great.
Yeah, that's my main channel right now. I'm trying to explore other marketing.
What's your exit strategy on the deal? Are you gonna sell or finance it and wrap it to somebody else? What are you gonna do with it?
Yeah, I was gonna keep it actually. It's rented out right now for $600 a month. So I know like once I close this, I'm gonna be like getting like $387 a month.
That's like your cell phone bill for the rest of your life paid.
Right. Exactly.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
Even with that balloon, the balloon's what, 5 years?
It's 5 years. Yeah, it's gonna be 43 grand. So the problem is I only see 2 sold comps in the last like 1,000 days, and then I'm basically going off the appraised value. Their appraised value, they have it at 30.
What are you worried about on the value? Are you worried because of the balloon?
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Okay, so
yeah.
Isaac, critical thing you got to write in your contract.
Okay.
Is you got to tell the seller, hey, I'm good with the balloon as long as the house will appraise for the original purchase price when I bought it.
Gotcha. So basically, when I appraise it, when it's time to refi him out.
Yep.
During that time, okay.
Every one of I got 4 contracts right here. I got to take these out of here, but I got all 4 of these contracts right here. Seller finance. Every one of them has a 5-year balloon. And every one of them has a statement in there stating that I don't have to execute on my balloon unless the property appraises for the original purchase price. And where does that protect me, Isaac? Number one, the value of a property is not the price of the property. The value of the property is what I can do with it, right?
Right.
And you already know that because you're looking at buying a pretty dope ass seller finance deal. This is a great deal for you. I love it. I mean, your cash on cash return on that deal is like 3x what the average investor is hunting for. Like Brandon Turner, who's a great investor, right? He's the old host of Bigger Pockets. He's like, man, I'm always shooting to get up to like 10, 12% cash on cash return. This is like a 30% cash on cash return for you. This is a really great cash on cash. Actually, probably closer to 40% cash on cash return.
Absolutely.
So this is a great deal for you, regardless of the value of the property. The problem is in 5 years, that's where it potentially becomes a problem, is if it still isn't worth that, right? So what I would say to you is that you just got to add that stipulation to your balloon, and you say, if the property does not appraise for the original purchase price, the balloon automatically extends an additional 5 years.
Gotcha.
And don't tell anybody. No, don't tell anybody that I told you that secret. Okay.
Absolutely. I got you, man.
Don't even tell when you and Alejandro become best friends. Don't tell Alejandro that secret. Okay.
I got you. Absolutely, bro.
You'll love Alejandro, bro. He'll be like a big brother to you. And he's just a great leader in the community. And Isaac, am I going to see you at DFW next week on Friday?
Yeah, you want to see me in DFW and Houston and Austin.
Oh, great. You're going to come to Austin.
Sir. Yes,
amazing. Sir. Good. Great question, bro. I got 13 minutes before I got to go. So great question. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Hey, Ingrid pointed something out. That's a good call out because I don't think Sean St. Clair added that language on Morby Method option contract. Love that. Okay, cool. So a couple things for anybody that is in Gator lending. I just got an email from Sean St. Clair. I don't know why his emails come across this way, but somehow Molly gets them okay, but I don't know why, but I just got this email a couple minutes from Sean St. Clair. All of the Gator lending documents are ready. So we've got the EMD Gator lending. We're going to do multiple sets of documents. This one set of documents is for the earnest money, like funding other people's earnest money or probate fees. Okay. This is not for sponsoring loans or any of that kind of stuff. We'll have to release those as they get done, but this is getting released on, I just got it hot off the press, 4:12 p.m. today. So, well, a couple hours ago. So we've got 5 documents and we'll be teaching and I'll be going through this tomorrow and then we'll go through it on Sunday for anybody that's actually in the Gator lending Zooms, just FYI. Albert Rivera, what up?
Hey, what's up, Ace?
How you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for asking my question. This is more on the Morby method.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the house actually I'm living in. So I reached out to the owner and he's selling it to me. So he wanted like 67, 70 grand down originally, and then he was going to seller finance the rest at like a 5%. I basically been talking to him back and forth. I hit him today with 300,000 and put 150 at a 0% for 5 years, second position. So he's gonna let me know Monday. He was actually more excited about that than the other way, than the other seller finance way. But the house is 450. It needs about 120 in repairs. ARV is about 650.
Okay, so you're renting the property.
No, I'm actually living in it.
And you own it?
No, not yet.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
I'm just
renting.
Sorry. Yeah, I am renting the property. Yes.
I'm like Albert. You renting it? Like, no, I live in it.
Yeah, I'm renting it at the moment. Correct.
I have to create a karate chop you, Albert.
Yeah.
Tina says, I have learned so much today. Thank you, Pace. Tina, this is just one bonus Zoom on a Friday afternoon before I take my wife on a date. All right. You just buckle in and just hang out for the next couple of years. Alejandro and all these other people that are in the side chat, Elena Tang, Derek Barton's new too, but he's learned a lot too. Just recently, man, game-changing information, great game-changing community. So Albert, so you've got a landlord that's renting the property to you. You want to buy the house from him. And what was the pitch that he liked?
300 coming up front with 300,000 and then put in the 150 in second position at 0% for 5 years.
I'll buy that deal right now. Call your landlord right now. Tell him I will buy that deal right now.
Yeah. So my to structure, I mean, because I got to still put 100,000 into it in terms for the ARV to bring it up. Would that, if I go to myinvestorloan.com,
you go to myinvestorloan.com or other lenders. There's other lenders. We're using another one right now. She's doing pretty good, but I got to like prove her through for the next couple of months, probably before I start releasing her. Actually, she was a referral from Daryl, one of our students. And I'm just going through and working through the kinks in our relationship, not like problems, but just making sure that before I refer somebody out, she's been vetted. Go to another lender, go to myinvestorloan.com. I don't care, whoever you go to. Myinvestorloan.com is who we used for a year before I sent it out. They will typically give you anywhere between 60 to 80% of the purchase. Okay. 60 to 80% of the purchase. So your purchase price is 300. So they'll give you at least 150, maybe upwards of 200.
No,
Shit, maybe
purchase price is 450.
Okay, purchase price is 450. So they'll probably give you somewhere around 350 as a loan.
Got it.
The problem is, okay, and you need to have this conversation with them, Albert. So this is something that people don't understand about the Morby method, is you need to go submit to myinvestorloan.com and get back the terms that you can actually now go back to the seller and go, I can get this much money at this rate. This deal works for me at this blah, blah, blah. Right now, you don't have that information, right?
I know.
So start there. Okay. And what I would do is now you need to get a temporary lender. So this is where Gator lending comes in handy. Somebody like me or one of the other Gator lenders. By the way, guys, for a lot of people that weren't in here earlier, how much money has PCS gotten our students in the last like 3 weeks in terms of lines of credit? 900 grand in the last 3 weeks in lines of credit. And they're just barely starting 900 grand in lines of credit. So do you guys think you're going to be able to see a lot of people lending to you on small and 30, 40, $50,000 increments? And what's going to be cool is you're going to see a lot of the students get together and create little tribes, like Gator tribes. Like you'll get students that go get 20 grand, 50 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand, depending on their situation and all that kind of stuff. And they'll band together and they might go fund your deal, Albert. All 5 of them band together because they might not have the 100 or 150 grand you need. So they'll band together, fund the deal. And then in the Morby method, you close the transaction. After the transaction is closed, the seller then refunds you your 150 and you pay off your Gator lenders. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Got it.
Okay. You got it?
Yep. Thanks. I had another question because I'm also working your list, Georgia list that you gave out.
Mm-hmm.
So those deals, like I'm still working. I didn't get anything yet, but I have a guy that might have a portfolio, but he's coming back into the country next week. So I got to get on the phone with him. If I do have or need help with that, how do I send it to you or someone in your team, or because those are your list. That's your leads.
Molly at AmericaHomeOffers.com.
Okay. Got it.
Molly at AmericaHomeOffers.com.
You got it.
And what she does is she looks at it like right out of the gate, and then like just what we did with Sandy the other day. Okay. Sandy is a brand new student. She's been with us like 4 or 5 weeks. She called on a list that made sense. She's like, I just looked for where Pace wants to buy. And she went and got a lead. I got on the phone, closed the seller. She's getting paid 10 grand, like literally within a couple of weeks of being in here. Right. Hey, Blake, if you're new and you're missing out on the Gator lending stuff, the Gator lending stuff is happening tomorrow, and I'm training on that. It's a very specific community I built inside of Sub 2 for people who are trying to build up their lines of credit and their lending business. Okay. I'm really trying not. Okay, there we go. Okay. So, Albert.
Yes.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Thank you so much, Pace.
Molly at AmericaHomeOffers.com.
Got it.
You're the man.
You're the man.
Buy that deal and then go find a deal in Georgia and let's do a freaking deal together.
Let's go.
Stop holding out on me and selling it to everybody but me, dog.
No, I haven't done that yet.
Luke Terry.
Pace, good evening to you, sir.
What up, brother? I called on you because I see a lot of people in the side chat that I've spoken to a lot, and so I jumped on you. I only have 4 minutes before I got to go, so I wanted to jump on you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. My question is probably might be a little bit bigger than what's probably merited in these 4 minutes. So maybe I'll just ask, what are your date plans for tonight? Where are you taking the lady?
I'm taking my wife to Nobu, bro.
Okay. Is that a restaurant in Arizona?
I take it you don't listen to rap music?
I've listened to very little. No, not really.
Listen to Drake or Kanye or Jay-Z or basically anybody that is in like New York or LA, and they'll reference Nobu. Nobu's like it's a very, very famous sushi restaurant that costs like minimum is $100 a person to eat there type of thing.
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
sushi's kind of like that anyway. I feel like anytime I eat sushi, it's like $100 a person, even in like, so anyway, I'm taking my wife to sushi because now she's not pregnant anymore. She's got a baby and now she can enjoy sushi. So I'm going to take her on a date. And plus I won't see her for a week next week. I will be in Boise, Idaho, Houston, Austin, and Dallas for a week. So I'll miss my wife. So I'm going to take her on a nice date.
Awesome. We'll enjoy it. And I appreciate that. I'm having a hard time keeping track of all the meetups or meetings and everything that you have posted, because I'll check in on the Facebook group. I checked in earlier today, and yeah, and just happened to stumble upon this right now while I was on YouTube. I'm like, oh, there's a live session
this one,
going on.
this one, bro,
Yeah.
this one was literally just so random.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was not planning on doing this one at all. I just got off the TV set a little bit earlier and I was like, you know what, let me get in there and do like a couple more hours with the students this week, just because I know next week I'm not going to be able to do a lot of Zooms because I'm going to be traveling all over the country, visiting the students in person, right? So check this one out. I don't know if you know this, but I will show this to you just real quick. And some newer students will get some value out of this. So check this out. So every week when I post my schedule, did you know this? All of these green squares are for sub 2 students. So like today, right now, the nightly dial is ending and Hang with Pace is a random Zoom that I did just kind of, you see it's ending right here. I actually do a Loom video and I walk you guys through every Zoom that I'm going to be doing for the week. And you guys can see when they're happening, what they are, what they're labeled, all that kind of stuff. So tomorrow I've got 2 Zooms. I've got Mindset with Elena, and then anybody that wants to actually partner and own a 400 unit multifamily deal with me tomorrow, I'm doing a Zoom for future partners. Sunday, I'm doing Gator lending. And then I'm doing, you guys got to know this, Astro and Sub 2 Zoom on Sunday. Just come for the first 20 minutes. If you do anything else, I'm giving away a bunch of really cool stuff. I'm trying to force you guys to collaborate with that community over there. Anyway, so I go through every week, and when I post my schedule in the private Sub 2 Facebook group, there's a Loom link that if you click it, I actually personally walk through the whole schedule and I go, if you're trying to do this, come here. But if you're not trying to do this, avoid this Zoom because it'll pull you 15 different directions. So I would, Luke, have you ever watched those before?
I have. I saw one a couple weeks ago. And then I subscribed, I guess it's to the support at sub2.com Google Calendar, but that's not showing some of the stuff that you have posted there.
Yeah,
so
it's because last week of the Clever Summit, I was out of town. And so Melissa and I were out of sync. And so starting back next week, that Sub 2 calendar will actually be correct.
All right. Very cool. Excellent.
Munif says, I love you, Pace. Bro, I love you too. We're business partners now. We own real estate together. That's pretty dope. Hey guys, here's what I'll do for you. Anybody that didn't get their question answered, please shoot me an email. This morning I answered 85 questions from Sub 2 students via Loom. Please send me an email, and whatever your question is, I'll shoot you usually a 3 to 4 minute answer back. pacejmorby@me.com. That's the email I typically do. Agnes says, yes, he did. He answered with a video. So guys, whatever it is you need, except for marriage problems. I have had people reach out to me about marriage problems. Luke, next Tuesday, I'm doing a Zoom. I want you to be one of the first people at the very beginning because I want to spend more time with you on the Zoom. Is that cool?
Very good. Yeah, let's do it.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
All right.
Guys, I'm gonna go hang out with my wife and my kids. I appreciate you guys. Love this community. I'll see you twice tomorrow. Once with Elena, and the second thing at my multifamily pitch. Looking for partners to come into my deal, and look forward to partnering